St. Paul, Minnesota for the penultimate day of the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship. Two semifinals for you, beginning with Sweden and Finland. The Swedes, the only team in the tournament with 5 regulation wins, but trying to shake that long history of dominating in group play and then falling short in the playoff round. Finland, models of consistency, have now made the semifinals 7 of the last 8 years. As we say hello, Canada, and welcome to semifinal number 1 here at the World Juniors. James Duffy, Cheryl Pounder, and a man who was drafted in this very building but didn't bother to show up and went golfing instead. Frankie Corrado. We're 4 hours away from hockey's newest rivalry, Canada-Czechia, first one of its oldest. And Sweden and Finland are eternal rivals who took very different paths to get here. I mentioned the Swedes dominating in group play and dominating in their quarterfinal against Latvia. Well, Finland lost to Canada, lost to Czechia, barely survived in overtime against the Americans. But when these two countries meet, all that early stuff usually doesn't mean anything. To get you ready for it, Gord Miller and Mike Johnson.
And another great group stage for the Swedes, James. 27 goals in 5 games, Mike. That's second only to Canada. But the problem for the Finns is, who do you try to shut down?
That is a challenge. They're scoring 5.5 a game, but the offense is spread out evenly through their first 3 lines. And yes, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of high-end picks and a lot of potential NHL stars on their roster, but in this tournament, the production has almost been equal, line 1, line 2, line 3, and so I think you just have to manage the game as though you have to be careful against all of them, because that's the reality. No matter who they put out there, any of those first 3 lines, they are more than skillful enough with good players to make you pay. You have to be disciplined, you have to be positional, you need goaltending, and even with all of that, you still will be in trouble. They may not be superstars in this tournament right now, but there are a whole bunch of good players for Sweden. It'll be really tough for Finland to corral in this game.
James talked about the problems the Swedes have had in the playoff round of this tournament. This has been the game that has been their biggest problem. They've lost 4 of the last semifinal games at the World Junior.
Thank you, boys. I mentioned the history of this rivalry. This is the 44th all-time meeting between Sweden and Finland at the World Juniors. And for two countries who share a border 545 kilometers long, it could not get any closer. 21 wins for Sweden, 20 for Finland, 2 ties. And while Sweden has 3 more medals, as you can see, Finland with 3 more gold. Mike talked about Sweden's balanced attack. Anton Frundell, Jack Berglund have been the most productive players, but you see a different potential difference maker on the back end.
Yeah, I really do, and I think that their defense is also deep, but I'm looking at number 4, Leo Celine Wallenius. I think he's been excellent throughout this entire tournament. The second round draft pick by San Jose. I mean, when I look at him, I'm saying this is such a mobile and efficient skater. So number 1 defensively, he can escape pressure. When you can escape pressure, you can get out of your zone with that first pass. Because of that skating, you can gap up, you can control the ice, and what that means is you're pushing your opponent to the outside. So really like him from a defensive aspect. But then you look at his numbers as well as production. He's got a goal and 5 assists. He anticipates play extremely well in front of him from a defensive standpoint, but he also sees it offensively. He knows when to activate, a reason why he had a goal and 2 assists in that quarterfinal action.
Swedes are the clear favorites with their record. If the Finns are to pull off what would be an upset, who has to shine?
Emil Hemming is their most dangerous shooter, and the Finns aren't going to overwhelm you offensively, but this is a guy now who hasn't scored in 2 games, but has scored throughout the course of this tournament. How two goals against Latvia, that was a blowout game, but scored a very important goal to tie the game with the extra attacker against the Czechs. And you know, for him, a half goal per game right now in the OHL playing for the Barrie Colts. He will get a lot of looks on the power play. So for the Finns, a team that is always stout and responsible defensively, if they're going to get a goal that matters, it could come off the stick from Emil Hemming.
Well, yeah, and also on the power play, right? He looks to be option A on that flank, so he's always looking to set up for the one-timer. He's always banging his stick. He wants that puck. He's around. He had 5 shots on goal in quarterfinal action as well. He creates. He is so dangerous offensively.
Be interesting. You can see the crowd filling. It's not huge today. A lot of people are anticipating the Americans, of course, being in the semifinals. The Minnesota Vikings are playing as well today, just finishing that one. We'll see how many Canadians cross over the border for Canada and Czechia tonight. That is our second semifinal for you. The pregame starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific time. 7 locally here in Minnesota. The drop of the puck a little after 7:30 local, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Of course, Canada beat the Czechs 7-5 on Boxing Day. Czechia upsetting Canada in 2 straight quarterfinals. But first, it is Sweden and Finland. The drop of the puck with Gord and Mike right after this on TSN.
I'm Cole Caulfield, and I played college hockey.
I'm Adam Fox, and I played college hockey.
I'm Jake Gensel, and I played college hockey. I'm Cale McCarr, and I play college hockey.
Whether you're a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey.
This is exactly what NHL fans look forward to.
What a shot! Turn it up a new level.
It's aggressive. It's bold.
High octane. Can you kick it up to that next level?
Turn it up a new level. Turn it up a new level.
Go over the boards for the final word of the night with On the Fly.
The Stars continue to dazzle.
See every big moment plus post-game reactions.
He really can't produce.
On the Fly, late nights and early mornings on NHL Network. Follow all the night's action as it happens on NHL Tonight.
Everything seems possible.
Our crew brings you on the ice with every matchup, including instant reactions and highlights.
Because there's nobody smarter in the game.
NHL Tonight on NHL Network.
We're slapping the hot takes around already.
Pre-game with the players on NHL Now.
Did you ever want to play net at all?
The main reason I think I wanted to was just like so I could call icing. And I was like 3 years old.
Push glove up, yeah.
On NHL Network.
Welcome back to St. Paul, Minnesota. It is semifinal Sunday at the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship, starting with Sweden and Finland. They met last year in the semis. The Finns won that game in overtime. They scored very late in the overtime period to advance to the gold medal game, which they lost in overtime to the United States. So the Swedes trying to break their long stretch of heartbreak in the playoff round at this tournament. The referees are John Linder of the United States, Troy Murray of Canada, the linesman, Matthew Heinen of the U.S., and David Tuma of Czechia. And as he has for the second consecutive year, goaltender Petri Rippinen has played every minute of every game. He's an LA 5th-round pick. He was terrific against the U.S. in the quarters, allowed 3 goals on 31 shots. And for the Swedes, Love Härenstam, a 6th-round pick of the St. Louis Blues, has a 4-0 record, a .903 save percentage for a Swedish team, and that gives him a lot of goal support. Lauri Mikkola, 3rd year of the head coach of the Finnish national junior team. And for the Swedes, Magnus Havlin, his 4th year as the head coach of the Swedish national junior team. They are seeking to win their first gold medal since 2012. They have 1 gold medal in the last 44 years at the World Junior.
Everybody set? You guys stay put? Just gotta wait on our friend here. Waiting for the goal. Still waiting, boys. Little dramatic pause. And we are good. All right, set. Bam, bam.
And away we go. 2 terrific rivals, neighbors, more of a sibling rivalry than an angry one. Swedish is actually one of the official languages in Finland. And the Swedes are without Lucas Pettersson, their second leading goal scorer. He's ill. They're hoping he can play tomorrow, but out of the lineup, his 4 goals will be missed. He's also an important penalty killer for them.
You'd have to be pretty sick to miss this game. So
and there has been a recovery bug going through this tournament. Eklund plays it head to Frundell. Anton Frundell. Trevor scored. Another early goal for the Swedes. It comes 36 seconds in. And Rippinen beaten quickly by Linus Eriksson.
That is a stunner. Nothing going on. Little ladder play. Flip it in for a whistle.
Oh.
And Rippinen just flat out misses it. That puck was probably going to go wide. He cuffs it back against the grain and in the corner. For the guy who was the goalie of the tournament last year, calls himself Showtime, knew he'd have to be good in this one. That is a disastrous start for Petteri Rippinen.
And the Swedes, who scored 10 seconds into their quarterfinal game against Latvia, have the opening goal here 36 seconds in. And Linus Eriksson is his first of the tournament. He's a second round pick rather of the Florida Panthers.
It's going to be hard enough to beat Sweden as it is, but giving them absolute freebies.
And Rippinen kept looking back and looking down at his glove. Couldn't believe it. And now we got a penalty as Viggo Bjork is taken down. And the Finns are going to be short-handed. Down one in the first minute of the game.
We're 52 seconds in. They've given up a terrible goal.
Team Finland penalty number 26. 2 minutes for tripping.
And Ruohonen steps in and takes a up-ice tripping penalty. Very crafty view. Bjork slides by him and can opener. Absolutely the correct call. So Sweden, who are 45% on the tournament with 9 goals, heads to the early power play trying to go up 2-0.
They're 9 for 20, led by Anton Frundell, who's got 3. Frundell, who we mentioned, is the first-round pick by Chicago, 3rd overall. He's the shooter on the right side of the formation.
The Mir Ovi likes to hang over there, and he can really pepper the puck.
Kicked back in by Alphonse Frey, the quarterback to the power play for the Swedes. Finished penalty kill. He's allowed 5 goals on 15 opposition attempts.
Number 28, Heikki Ruohonen, 2 minutes for tripping. Time of the penalty, 53 seconds.
Now brought in by Stenberg. The Finns have trailed in each of the last 3 games, but not quite like this.
Well, as the competition gets tougher, thinking you could trail and come back to win becomes less likely, and Rippinen's got to park that. That would be hard to do. How do you don't get rattled, give up a goal like that to start a semifinal? A challenge for his mental strength.
Finns open wins over Denmark and Latvia, then lost in overtime to the Czechs. They tied that game late and lost on the OT winner. Then a 7-4 defeat to Canada in a wild game on New Year's Eve. Then the 4-3 overtime win against the U.S. in the quarters. Played up by Nieminen, but not out. Frey has it. He shoots it. Goes off a skate and wide. Frundell spins that back to Eklund. In for Frundell. Back for Frey. Here's Frundell with it. To the goal mouth he goes, takes the return pass from the captain, Jack Berglund. Frundell shoots that puck by Nieminen, rebound. Eklund turned away by Rippinen. Got it back up and pivoting back is Swedish Ivar Stenberg. And Stenberg, top prospect for the upcoming draft, pivots at the line. Stenberg moves back in. What a move. Drops that back for Frey. Across he goes. Frundell with a shot. And that was blocked by Kiviharju. Stenberg looks back in front. The pass picked up by Nieminen and sent down the ice.
Kiviharju was all over that one-timer. Sweden set up just the way they wanted it. Frundell was going to put it in the empty net, but Kiviharju, the captain, blocked it.
Salim Wallenius feeds that back to Viggo Bjork. Salim Wallenius. Poke check there. Now moved up by Bannon. Entangled there with Frundell at center ice. Moved back in by Danielson. Final seconds of the power play. No shots for the Swedes on that power play, so the Finns kind of get their feet under them here a little bit. Kill that penalty and remain down 1. Sasha Boumedian, Winnipeg first-round pick. Steps out. His dad, Josef, spent parts of 4 seasons in the NHL. Michi Jokinen up along the boards. That was knocked down. Picked off, and a sharp angle shot there for Kasper Justavara. Goes off the glass, up and out of play.
So that was a big penalty kill. Given the way this game started for Finland to get through this, and this is a very good chance upcoming, the way that Frundell can shoot the puck. Kiviharju down, shooting lane, wide. Not pleasant to eat that puck. And the celebration for this goal was even muted because Sweden didn't know what to make of it. And the Finnish players try to check in on their goaltender. They're going to need better out of him.
Shot by Orkvist was blocked. Back up by Kasper Justavara Karlsson.
Slash.
Sharp angle shot. We got another penalty coming. This will be to Sweden for a slash. And so the Finns, we're going to power play 3.5 minutes into the first period as Justavara goes off.
It's my favorite. Slashing a stick out of his hands.
Team Sweden penalty number 29, 2 minutes for slashing.
Well, they've been consistent with it.
Yeah. Anytime you take a swing at someone's stick, they don't have the puck and knock it out of their hands, they generally call it. So Ustavara takes the old offensive zone penalty right there. Little tap on Balela.
He was the overtime hero for the Finns. The Finns are 4 for 15 on the power play with 4 different goal scorers. The Swedish penalty killing's been okay. They've allowed 5 goals and 18 opposition attempts. It's not outstanding for a team that rolled through the first 5 games like they did. 5 straight regulation wins.
Sweden penalty.
Bolius.
Number 29.
Vananen. Here is Bolius. Back down to Matthias Vananen. Plays that back, and that shot taken by Jasper Kutta was blocked. Now it's picked up, and a chance for the Swedes shorthanded. Linus Eriksson winds back in, centers it. That pass just missed Victor Ekman, the Islander first-round pick.
Kutta just got a piece to turn that aside. Would have been a breakaway.
Lassi Bolius, an Anaheim second-round pick. Drops that back for Miettinen. Plays for Everett in the Western Hockey League. Drops it back for his Everett teammate Vananen. And Celine Wallenius couldn't clear it out. Racing to it is Berglund on the backhand, sends it back down to the finish zone. Finns silver medalists last year have won 2 silver the last 4 years in this tournament. And both those silver medals came in dramatic overtime losses in the gold medal game. Vananen drops that back to Emil Hemming, the Dallas first-round pick. For Suvanto. Moved back around, but not up by Bomedian. Working back in is Tuba. For the captain, Kiviharju. And for Hemming, back to Kiviharju, who missed a game as well with illness. Feeds that back, Tuba for the goal. Now flip back in front, rolling puck, and it skipped away from Ruohonen. Couldn't get a shot away. Ruohonen chips that back to Suvanto. Kiviharju. Back in for Hemming. Emil Hemming. Looks back for Suvanto. Centers it. That hard shot by Tuba. Turned away in tight by Herrenstadt. Back comes Tuba. Got the cross-ice pass over Hemming. That's knocked away now. Ruohonen has it bounce off his stick. 1 shot for the Finns on the power play. Remains 1-0 Sweden. Kiviharju. Long wrist shot blocked in front by Bomedian. Now Bomedian spins back. Winnipeg first-round pick in the last draft, 28th overall. Plays for AIK Stockholm in Sweden's Allsvenskan, their second league. Lead pass finds Eklund. Chipped back in front by Frondell, looking for Linus Eriksson. That's broken up. Vestergaard got stymied at the line. Brought back by Daniel Nieminen. Rink-wide pass finds Kasper Pikkarainen. Back goes Hutchinson to take that away. Frondell kicks it, that moves it back to center ice. And chipped back down to the finish zone as Nieminen goes back. Finns have won 4 of the last 5 meetings with Sweden. The last 2 have gone to overtime, including last year's semifinal. Balela. Wide pass for Vestarinen, bumps that down. Skipped away from Herrenstadt. Yenborg slides that to Stenberg. Ivar Stenberg leads Frölunda in scoring. An 18-year-old leading a Swedish Hockey League team in points. Now decided to go. Bjork knocked that free. Got a quick shot away. Rippinen able to make the save. It didn't take long for the Swedes to get on the board here. It doesn't take long for some bitterness to break out. And there's just a pile up in front of the Finnish goal. Linus Eriksson strikes less than a minute in, and the Swedes have a 1-0 lead.
This telecast of the IIHF World on NHL Network.
Talked about the long-standing rivalry between these two neighboring Scandinavian countries. The all-time series, Sweden has 1 more win, but the Finns have beaten them 3 straight times in the semifinals. And the record in medal games, the Swedes 4-17, the Finns 9-6. And the Finns 5 gold medals and the Swedes 2. Sweden won 1 in 2012, and prior to that, 1981.
when the record in the preliminary round for Sweden has been so great.
56 straight wins at one point.
For the last decade. No gold medals to show for it.
Since 2008, the Swedes are 7-9 in semifinal games. And part of that was during their 56-game group stage winning streak. Celine Wallenius moves that back around to Frondell, chips that back down to the finish zone as Jokinen has the hustle back. He's got Eriksson bearing in on him. Jokinen pivots back. Plays for TPS Turku, which will be one of the host cities in the World Junior in 2 years' time. Edmonton Red Deer next year, then Finland in 2028. That's batted back down to the finish zone and icing called against the Swedes.
It's not surprising that this game, other than the peculiar goal that was let in early, has had a pretty defensive start. Both teams are very organized and take calculated risks. Part of what makes the tournament so fun is young players are generally more inclined to chase offense and maybe make the odd bad decision. These two teams do that about as infrequently as any. They just do not give gifts with their decision making.
Celine Wallenius up for Eklund, gloves that down. Victor Eklund in across the line, plays for Djurgården in the Swedish Hockey League. They got promoted to the top division. First time we've had a Stockholm team in the top division for a while in the SHL. Jettinen plays that back, but rebound, great chance there for Hemming. And Herenstam might have got a piece of that. Now a long point shot from Bison and goes wide. Boilius tries to play that back in. Gathered back up by Viggo Bjork. And Bjork was ahead for Eklund. By the way, Atos Koivu, Saku Koivu's son, the Montreal third-round pick, is yet again a healthy scratch for the Finns. He was benched in the first period of their loss to Canada after he -2 on his first 2 shifts. Didn't play in the quarterfinal and is not dressed tonight. And that puck trickles down to Herenstam and he hangs on. And we are told he is not ill.
Best chance for Finland so far in this game comes off a rebound, but Median gets a tip in front. That's why Herenstam kicks it right to Hemming. Little touch and a mishandle, but how about cleaning up your own mess?
Nice.
That's a blocker or top of the stick. Oh, Hemming did a good job contorting his body, gets it up. Both to take it away. Well done by Herenstam. Frankie talked about Emil Hemming. He's sort of a one-shot shooter, doesn't need many looks the way he can release the puck.
The only first-round pick on this Finnish roster of the 13 drafted players. We talked about the fact that his draft stock plummeted because that shot trickles just wide. Jokinen back on it. On up going 29th overall to Dallas in 2024. Berglund lost the puck to Vestergaard. Valila plays that back to Jokinen. That back in that long point shot knocked down off the stick of Pikkarainen. Now back to center ice, and that was Kranz stepping into his man. Now Berglund picks up the loose puck. Look at Kranz as a aggressive player for the Swedes. He's usually in the middle of things as Frey shoots. That's tipped wide. Out the other side, scooped up by Wilson Bjork. The older brother of Viggo Bjork. He's in the lineup with Pettersson out today. Laid back at the points. Wallenius back for Frey with a long shot, and Rippinen makes the save and gives a shot to Wilson Bjork.
This is percolating now, every whistle, pushing and shoving. As Jokinen had his stick taken out of his hands, he dropped it, not wanting to get a holding or hooking penalty. So he's playing without a stick. He went back to the corner to get it. That's why Nilsson was wide open in front for a tip. Valila and Bjork get tangled up. Rippinen's not happy with anyone getting around him. We'll see how long the officials allow these scrums to take place. We've seen it time and again in this tournament. Go for about 5 minutes, then they start taking 2 guys per team. If it persists, then they go to 1 guy.
Right. Oliver Suvanto for the face-off for the Finns against Viggo Bjork. Long shot by Frey, got through, and Rimpinen kicked that away. Suvanto, top-rated prospect for the upcoming draft, slides that back to center ice, and it's moved in by Atayoki. Frey moves away from Vestarinen, but that pass is picked off. Suvanto plays it back to Kivaharju. Aaron Kivaharju, and that chip towards the goal now. Kivaharju steps in and wires that shot on goal, but Kivaharju turned away by Härenstam, and there's more rough stuff in front of the Swedish goal. 9:34 to go here in the opening period. Sweden with a 1-0 lead on Finland in the semifinals of the 50th World Junior.
This late nights and early mornings on NHL Network.
Scan the QR promo code on screen to get Crave starting at $3.99 a month for your first 3 months, and stream the latest blockbusters, Canadian Crave originals, and hit series all in one place on Crave.
There's Atos Koivu, who took full responsibility, said that the first 2 goals were his fault and he had to be better and just wanted a chance to prove that he would be better. He just hasn't had the chance. He's basically not played again.
He's a 19-year-old, so he's going to age out of this tournament, won't get another chance.
And those 2 goals came in the first 2 minutes of the game. He was
right. That was that crazy, you know, it was 2-2 4 minutes in.
First 4 shots went in the net.
Lots of blame to go around on that. As Kivaharju steps up for Tuva. Tuva trying to move that. Picked up by Eklund. In comes Frondell, gets a step. The puck rolled off his stick. And Kivaharju back on it. Tied up there by Eriksson. Pipparina. Taking up along the boards, plays it back to Ruohonen, who plays for Harvard in the NCAA, and he drops it back to Kivaharju. Aaron Kivaharju. Second World Junior, drafted by the Minnesota Wild and told their GM, Bill Guerin, you got the steal of the draft, and they picked him in the 4th round. He was talked about as being a potential high first-round pick when he was 16 and lighting up in under-18 tournaments. Knocked free by Justavara. He's got Nieminen all over him, and that's poked free for Nieminen. Looks up to Vananen, and get it back up by William Hawkinson. Frey plays it back ahead for Justavara. The shortened version of Justavara Karlsson. Vananen. Cross ice pass for Hemming, gathers it back up. Hemming buys some time. Up coming off the bench, he feeds it back across to Valila, and Valila's shot was blocked. Justavara. At the first fair attempt, hit the referee. Now Miettinen tries to center it, bounces back in front. Berglund's got it off the boards and back out to center. Coming back court, Sweden, by the way, the top seed coming out of the preliminary round, had the choice of semifinals and chose the early one.
An extra 4 hours rest.
Also better for TV back home. Miettinen picks that free. Slides back to the other side. Valila steps up. Celine Wallenius. Lost the handle. Now it's played back to the point. Valila shot got through. Rebound. Great stop there. Point by Härenstam. Took that away from Vestergaard. And now the puck goes up and out, and the Finns are going back to the power play with 7:13 to go in the period. And that'll be Felix Carrello goes off for delay of game.
Good sequence for Finland in the offensive zone, possessing it around the edges, working it to the front of the net, and then finding pucks on rebounds.
Penalty delay game.
And good battle in front. This Vestergaard has been really good for Finland. The speed and physicality in front of the net, battling Celine Wallenius, and another good save by Härenstam on the rebound right before on the back end. It's always tricky. You get underneath it, and that is straight up and out. Well, stick may have caught the opposition, but the puck did not. So another power play here for Finland.
Finns are 0 for 1, still down 1. They stabilized early. They were down 1 and shorthanded in the first minute of the first period. Off the draw, Hemming digging for it. Moves that back to Kivaharju.
Felix Carrello.
Kivaharju for Ruohonen. Bounces back to Hemming. To Kivaharju. Savanto. Kivaharju. Back for Hemming. Tuva's wide open on the other side of the ice. Kivaharju. Or Hemming, cross ice for Tuva. Walks in and shoots. Well, saved by Harrison. Sent back in front to Savanto. Back for Tuva. Kivaharju holds the line. For Tuva. Now the centering pass for Savanto was broken up and sent down the ice by Justavara.
Sweden is definitely cheating to Hemming's side. They're going to give Tuva that shot, a right shot on the right side. He can't one-time it. Just trust that the goaltender can handle it.
Much like the Finns are taking away from Dell on the Swedish power play. Vannanen winds in, back for Miettinen in the high slot. A great chance there for Kute, put it wide. Now moved back out by Eriksson. Back down to the finish zone. Eriksson is all over his man, Saralainen. In comes Saralainen. Winds it back across for Miettinen. At the point to Polius. Feeds it back down. Kute shoots. That was blocked by Hawkinson. The long point shot by Polius goes wide. Vannanen. Saralainen. Back to Vannanen. For Polius. Plays it back across. And that shot by Kute was blocked once again by Hawkinson. Held by Polius. Fed back to Miettinen. Across it goes to Vannanen. Vannanen for Miettinen. Looks back. And Polius a long point shot. That's gloved by Harrenstad.
Sweden, not surprisingly, very prepared on the penalty kill. Pretty good individual effort. Vannanen gets it to Miettinen, gets it over, but sailed wide by Kute. Perfect spot. He's at the hash marks, just over top of the bar. Harrenstad going down, puck going up, and Hawkinson eating pucks on the weak side as well. See, Finland's doing a good job moving it around, but every time they want to attack the net, Sweden is there to get in the lane.
Finns are actually out shooting the Swedes 8-4 in this game. Hemming pokes that back to Tuva. Or Kivaharju walks in, feeds that down to Hemming. And that shot by Kivaharju ramps off the stick of Berkman way up in the air and over everything and out.
You have to respect the positioning. You understand Finland trying to get the puck down to the net, trying to attack quickly as the penalty was about to expire, but Jack Berglund down in the middle, back lead with the stick, and able to turn it aside. But if you're Finland, other than the first 60 seconds,
right,
you would feel okay about how this period has gone.
They spotted the Swedes an early one.
Gifted an absolute muffin through the glove of Rimpinen.
Works it back across. Even a shot that's fought off by Harrenstad. 2 shots for the Finns, and that power play remains 1-0 Sweden. It's Bjork to Bjork. The brothers are out there together. Vigo, number 21, plays in the Swedish league. His older brother plays in the NCAA for Colorado College. Puck in behind the goal. And trying to dig that out was Väisänen. Now flip back to center ice, and Frey's got it back for the Swedes. And now behind the play, taken down was Ruohonen. And he is slow to get back to his feet, trying to make his way back into place. Jesuit, the official's way off.
Pointing out the damage to his face, saying you missed that high stick.
Right. And now Vestorino, a shot that goes wide. Loose to the side of the goal. Vestorino with a chance that's turned away by Harrenstad. Frey back with it. Piparina plays that back, and Vestorino wrists it back down the Swedish zone. Frey back with it, gets crunched there by Yoki. Vestorino back on it now. Yoki was jousting there with Frey. Vannanen feeds that back, score! The shot from distance by Antti Yoki. And the Finns have tied the game at 1.
What a shift by Atayoki. He got all tangled up. Gets into the forecheck, finishes. Gets all tangled up. Exchanges some punches with Frey. Has his chin strap come undone on the back check. Able to finally get one through a shot block. That goes right between the legs. Hawkinson, you get a better look at it here. Oh, perfectly, and that's late for Harenstam to pick up. Look at this release. Probably couldn't do that if he tried. He wasn't aiming there. He's just shooting it on the net. And Yoki, who has been playing down the lineup for most of this tournament, gets his first of the tournament to tie it up.
His first point. What a time to do that. So the Finns hang around. And you talked about it earlier, that early penalty kill probably stabilized them, right? They're down 1-0, shorthanded. The game could have got away from them there. Settled things down. Now out shooting the Swedes 10-4 here in the period. That plays offside at the Swedish line. 18-year-old Atayoki has the Finns back in the game, tied at 1 here in the first period of the semifinals.
American flag today. That's showallegiance.com.
Finland steadily turning the play into their favor, gets rewarded late in the period with an unlikely goal scorer. Atayoki picks up a turnover, seam pass, and gets it past Harenstam. And that was after this high stick. That was Frey's stick into Ruohonen. And he was hot, as you would be. That was during the play. He's talking to the official. He's bleeding from the mouth. It would have been, should have been a 4-minute double minor. During the break, he went to the official. And this exchange happens all the time. Players furious. Wake up. What are you looking at? Referee says, I didn't see it. Nothing I can call. Both guys are right in the moment. But Ruonen's got to park it and get back to playing.
By the way, if you're wondering about the rule, Atayoki scored that goal with his chin strap undone. If your helmet comes off, you have to leave right away. If your chin strap is undone by an opponent, you have a reasonable amount of time to do it up. So you don't have to leave the ice.
To chase yourself right off. Right. You can continue a little bit. And it was Frey with a little shots to the face to Yoki that undid the chin strap. And we know chin straps are largely overrated anyways.
Saralainen plays it back across, and that shot by Ruohonen goes just high. As you wore yours like a necklace.
For comfort.
Yes. You know your helmet's supposed to protect you, right? That was kind of... I give up. It was a long time ago.
That's right.
You're just picking up the mantle, the torch of your mother and father.
I've heard that message before.
He's pulling us with it. 2:15 to go in the opening period. There's a steal by Stenberg. Ivar Stenberg slides it back across. Beagle Bork centers it. A good stop by Rippinen in tight on Eddie Yenborg. Back goes Sasha Bomedian, who plays at Boston University. 3 of these Swedes play in North America, all in the NCAA. 7 Finns, second straight year they've had 7 players playing in North America. And
cold shoulder.
Stenberg, the cold shoulder on Jokinen. There's Peter Forsberg action there. Viggo Bjork brings it back in. Along with Stenberg and Yenborg. And the puck loose in the corner. But despite the early goal, which was kind of a fluke, the Swedes have not generated much here in this first period.
Well, they had a power play. Not a lot of looks, just 4 shots. A minute left to play.
And Frey's pass disrupted at center ice. Suvanto. In the forecheck, now it's played back across, and Victor Eklund has some room. Eklund lines in, no-look shot, knocked away by Rimpinen. Played back, Carello drive, got through. Rimpinen the stop on that. Here's Frendell. Plays that back, and the shot by Hawkinson deflected away. Eklund feeds that back to Carell. Back across to Hawkinson, shoots, that goes high. Frendell back on it, but Suvanto's clearing attempt is knocked down by Eklund. And Kivaharju has it back. Kivaharju drops that back. Got it back up by Juho Piparinen. He's projected to be a top 10 pick in the upcoming draft. Leaves it there for Väisänen. 20 seconds to go in the period. Väisänen Sails that in over the glass and out.
You called it real time. Eklund trying to throw some misinformation down to Rimpin. This is the most overt no-look I've ever seen. He's selling seam.
Does he look at the clock?
Maybe thinking Rimpinen's going to cheat off the post for a second. And the goalie is a bad turnover to the wrong guys. And Stenberg, he starts stop. And Yenborg ends up with it down the front of the net. Stenberg, this is what makes him an attractive, soon NHL prospect. He is very strong on his skates.
Not the biggest guy.
But his stride and his lower body strength has him ready in a couple of years, next year for sure.
Franz feeds that back in. And the Swedes had the opening goal just 30 seconds in, but the Finns stay with it, get the equalizer, and have a 1-1 tie with the Swedes after the opening 20 minutes. It's semifinal Sunday at the 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship.
So wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost.
Ivar Stenberg. Who is this Swede? Oh, he might be the #1 draft pick this year, and he's breaking records in the SHL.
Follow his and many other careers through LiveScore. Download the Elite Prospects app now.
You could spend all night checking every receipt and coding every expense. Or you could let Ramp do it. Close the books without the busy work. Ramp. Love finance.
Just back is sore. Let's go! Ice. Hot. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy hot, just so back.
I'm Cole Caulfield, and I played college hockey.
I'm Adam Fox, and I played college hockey.
I'm Jake Gensel, and I played college hockey.
I'm Kel McCarr, and I played college hockey.
Whether you're
This is NHL Network.
Scoring 36 seconds in with that long wrist shot that got away from Petteri Rippinen, but Atijoki, after the Finns had stabilized things, ties it up, and the Finns outshot the Swedes 11-7 in the opening 20 minutes. Gord Miller back here with Mike Johnson. The Swedes rolled through the preliminary round, scored 27 goals in 5 games, but they were ground to a standstill in that first period.
Stubborn opponent, who's organized, they're physical, and they stick with their game plan even when they gave up the early first goal against. Finland just went back to work and went to put the puck in the area where they want this game to be played, which is in Swedish end, below the goal line, and along the walls. They're very good with that. Pursue the pucks, physically engaging, winning their fair share of battles, and then getting some time in possession in the offensive zone. And they're not always great chances that come with these opportunities, but it's about tilting the ice in their favor, playing down on the offensive end, and trusting that eventually you'll find a play, there'll be a breakdown, you might get a break, and it came late with Joki's wrister getting past Harenstam, where they were rewarded for all the good work to tie the game, and Sweden can expect 2 more periods of very much the same thing.
For the 15th time in the last 19 years, Sweden had a perfect record in the preliminary round. And here they are, white-knuckling another semifinal. We mentioned before, they lost 4 of their last semifinal games. 1 gold medal last 44 years. They finished second 11 times at that time. Eriksson spins that back to Karel. Boumedian plays it across, and a good pad save by Rippinen on the shot by Victor Eklund. Swedes score early in periods a lot, and Frondell is usually the man doing the scoring. Hemming winds ahead, slides that pass up for Jätinen. And the Finns leave that puck during the change to avoid too many men penalty. Väisänen works it back down to the Swedish zone. Borgqvist plays it back around. Eagle Bjork got it knocked away. Now Stenberg will try his luck up the left side. Stenberg slides that back, and Bjork works it. He's taken down. And a penalty coming to the Finns as Leo Tuba's going to go here. That was a terrific chance at the side of the goal from Viggo Bjork. And now the Swedes have the extra skater on. Boumedian. Cross the line, plays that for Berglund. Yenborg back for Stenberg. Shoots, scores! And they've struck early again. A minute and 20 seconds in. The Swedes have regained the lead.
What a shot from Stenberg. Great organization with the goalie out 6-on-5. Get the extra body to get it into the center of the ice. Couple drop passes. Fly-by screen from Yenborg. Bothers Rimpinen. He's the one who makes the drop. Stenberg skates into it. Head up the whole way. He's just trying to find a seam, and Rimpinen doesn't even move with the flash screen from Yenborg. And you're right, once again, early in the period, Sweden generates a couple of chances, draws the delayed penalty, and Stenberg regains the lead.
The 18-year-old who will hear his name called early in the upcoming draft has his third goal of the tournament. Brother Otto plays for St. Louis.
Just got called up in the last couple of weeks playing for the Blues with regularity now, so a couple of weeks for the Stenberg family.
He's called here against the Swedes, so the Finns down once again early in the period. Stenberg, we mentioned, leads Frölunda in scoring as an 18-year-old.
Talked to one of my old teammates, Freddie Schuström, who is his general manager there, and he says he's their best player, which is incredible for a league that's hard to score. And another one through the legs of the shot blocker in Tuva that fools the goaltender. Very similar to Joki's goal.
Off the draw, a quick chance there for Vestergaard turned away. Jokinen plays that back in. Vestergaard trying to pick that free. Justavara chips it back down to the finish zone. Swinging back is Pikkarainen to the line, and it pinballs back in. Now Jokinen on it. Plays it back to center. Kuta. Pikkarainen. Back for Kuta. Shoots. It goes off the mask, I think, of Härenstam. Brought back around by Pikkarainen. Well, the wrist shot was blocked in front. Kuta with a chance. Put that high. Down to the side of the goal. In. They score. It goes off the glass. Off Alphonse Frey and in. And the Finns have tied it.
Does Frey swat this out of harm's way right into the back of his goaltender? That was wild. Kuta jumps on a loose puck in front, but sailed it. What a response by Finland. Rolling around top, it's Tuva, slings it down to the front of the net. Kuta puts it over top, and yeah, he's trying to swipe it. It might have gone in anyways if Frey doesn't hit it, but he actually hits it over into the elbow or back of Härenstam. Get a look at it here. Oh man, that's tough.
So
that is tough.
Been an odd goal either way. The Swedes opener off the glove of Rimpinen in the opening minutes. Now Frey bats one in his own net, and 50 seconds after the Swedes had retaken the lead, it's a 2-2 tie.
Crazy goal.
We could be in for one of the all-timers here in this semifinal. There's a lot more to come here, I think.
These two countries, these two teams.
They went to overtime last year. That game appeared to be heading for a shootout, but the Finns scored the OT winner late to advance to the gold medal game. Kimaharju brings it back in, has got it back up by Celine Valenius. Plays it back down to the finish zone. And you talked about it, I mean, the Finns have had the game largely under control except for a couple of bursts. And then there's that.
Make a great point, though, that the strange goals have at least even themselves out here, so now we're back to square and even. Goaltenders are wondering what is going on out here.
Rimpinen, we mentioned, has played every minute in the tournament so far for the Finns, as he did last year. Coach Lauri Mikkola was asked before the tournament what his goaltending plan was. He said, what do you think?
Put him in. Leave him in.
Centers and rolling puck there, and Härenstam quickly gathered that.
We are done!
Well, maybe not completely done.
We're trying to get finished.
Wow.
These kind of goals are unsettling. They're unsettling for the bench, for the goaltender. for Frey, who had the unfortunate last touch for Sweden. You think you're playing it right. You think you know what's going on, but a Karam off the glass and a muffed, innocent-looking wrister.
So
and you got to remind yourself just how young these goalies are.
Right, Ripponen's 19, Härenstam's 18.
And how much pressure they would feel in this game.
One of 12 Swedes, by the way, who's young enough to return next year. Now back across, Saralainen cued that wide. Beaulieu steps up. Lays that back in, back across for Saralainen. That pass misfired. Up the line, Väisänen feeds that back. Beaulieu fired it wide. Komedian back on it. Backhands out ahead, the puck off the stick of Beaulieu, as I thought, but they rule icing here. The Swedes are curious about that call as well.
And the one thing we've learned about Finland over the years and over the year in this tournament is that they are very resilient. And they do not panic, and they sort of stick with the game plan. When strange things happen, when bad things happen, when good things happen, it really doesn't change at all how they play.
Fourth straight game where they've trailed.
Comfortable in that role.
There's Jokinen shot that goes off the stick of Justavar and broke it. Vestergaard trying to dig that free. Pikkarainen. Muscles off Orquist, but the pass back for Jokinen drew him back to center ice. Balila winds it around that broken stick, shoots, that goes wide. Balila was the overtime hero.
On that exact same shot.
Right. That was his first point of the tournament. Now the puck play with a high stick. And play is called. Let's take it back to the quarterfinal game a couple of days ago against the United States. Finns trailed 2-1 with 8 to go. Came back to tie it, took the lead. The Americans tied it, and then this in overtime.
3-on-3. You're talking about a guy growing into the tournament. Balala was barely playing to start the tournament. And then he finds himself out there in overtime of the quarterfinals against the host, two-time defending champs. And he finds a way to end the game. Terrible moment for him.
The Finns do find unlikely heroes. In 2019, they beat the United States late in regulation. In the gold medal game, the players scored their winning goal, had not scored all year in the Finnish league.
Just saving it up for when it matters most.
Right.
Scoring correction. Finland goal, number 29, Jasper Kuda, single assist.
Vestorinen plays that back in for the Finns as Suvanto goes after it.
Time of the goal.
Long shot by Pikkarainen.
Watch that glass battle. Deflection. See how quickly Härenstam got back under his crossbar on that one.
Stenberg back with it. Up ahead for Berglund. Got squeezed there by Pikkarainen. Kivaharju steps away from Viggo Bjork. Banks that back for Pikkarainen. Yoki back down to the Swedish zone, and falling in the corner is Karel. Yoki knocks that free. Now get it back up by Celine Wallenius. 5.5 gone here in the second period. Viggo Bjork moves in, and Beaulieu took that away. Beaulieu up ahead for Nieminen. Nieminen across the line, but the play is offside at the Swedish blue line. Nieminen couldn't quite do the splits wide enough.
He was trying to break wide, and when he didn't get the puck, he could not slam on the brakes fast enough to keep Nieminen onside with the puck. Little tap there for Snow pass. But again, this is a game that is being played the way Finland wants it to look like.
Right.
Sweden's not getting up and down the ice. They're not sort of creating a lot off the rush. Haven't had many extended zone times. The question really just becomes, can you break down Sweden frequently enough to win this game? They're hard to score against as well.
They know each other pretty well. There's lots of junior age tournaments over the course of the year. And because so many of the Finnish and Swedish players play domestically, they would play against each other in those tournaments.
A little jousting on the face-off. Eriksson, Vietnam.
to center ice. Frundell trying to knock that back in. And here is Eklund with it. Celine Wallenius knocked off the puck by Nieminen. And again, one of Sweden's top goal scorers, Lucas Pettersson, is not in the lineup today as Vananen came across the line. Pettersson, we're told, is ill. They're hoping he can play tomorrow. Hit 4 goals in 5 games coming in.
Off the face-off, sometimes you can get the head lower. Miettinen wants it. Eriksson doesn't want to let him. We're having a conversation. This kind of stuff happens. That's one. After that conversation, I'm surprised that wasn't called. Just given that the attention was already drawn to the conflict, and that was not within the context of a face-off. That was a face-off won and a cross-check delivered by Miettinen. And he's been told, just calm down. Stay with the game plan. Nothing foolish.
Fans in Alberta will recall Joel Otto and Mark Messier headbutting each other to pieces during a 7-game playoff series.
That's what the dashes are put in the offensive zones for, to try to keep guys away from the face-off dot, to take away that Joel Otto bull rush.
Väisänen plays it back across, knocked in by Valila. Pins have given up early goals in both periods so far, but have come back to equalize both times. Here is Väisänen. Utah 3rd-round pick. Chips it back down to the Swedish. Jonas Ornqvist goes back. Boumedienne. Cross to Wilson Bjork. Sharp angle drive. Eric Nilsson goes wide. Back at the plate. Boumedienne, long shot goes wide. Rohonen couldn't clear that out. Behind the goal. Got it back up by Nilsson. That shot from Hawkinson flutters wide. As Valila goes back after it, Nilsson steps into him. Pipparinen gathers things up as both teams will change here. 7 gone in the 2nd period. Winner goes to the gold medal game tomorrow night here in St. Paul. The loser will play for the bronze earlier in the afternoon. Pipparinen plays it back in. Here is Frey. Up to Krantz. Back for Frey.
Smooth.
Dances right around Pipparinen. Centering pass knocked away. Pipparinen has it back to the line, but not out. Krantz plays it back in. Bergman sends it back, and that shot by Krantz was blocked. And Rippinen might have got the end of that. Now Krantz fires and hammers that wide.
Justavar was all tangled up with Rippinen.
Now Rippinen's lost his goal stick. Pipparinen. Pipparinen. Celine Wallenius at center ice got bottled up. 15-9. The shots on goal in favor of Finland and 2-2 tie. Corral locked heels there with Pipparinen. And Celine Wallenius has it back. San Jose's 2nd-round pick. Lead pass to Yenborg. And Celine Wallenius with a long shot. Rippinen makes the stop on that and is able to hang on. 11:49 to go here in the 2nd period. Swedes re-grab the lead. Then this odd bounce winds up at their net. 2-2 is the score.
You know, it's one decision, start with breakfast, and over time, that makes huge change. I'm Brian Tate, founder and CEO of Oats Overnight. Starting out, I just wanted to build something. This is something that we were making homemade. It's, you know, healthy breakfast that tastes good enough to stick to. It's 20 grams of protein, all natural, gluten-free, tons of flavors. You know, knowing that each pack represents someone's morning and represents a good decision that person's making for their health, that's really motivating and that's exciting. You know, at the end of the day, it is just oatmeal, but we know we're also making a pretty big impact. You just got to try it out.
I always thought I was just bad at money, but it turned out I didn't have a money problem. I just had a clarity problem. Monarch showed me exactly where my money was going, and I already saved like $200 this month. If you want a full picture of your finances too, start your free trial at monarch.com.
Just back is sore. Let's go! Ice. Hot. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy hot, just so back.
The back and forth affair almost returned to Sweden's favor. Turnover on the exit, and that ends up with an offensive opportunity. And listen to this. Do you think Krantz wanted that puck? He almost broke his stick before. Yeah, I guess you better get a pass to it. And he had all kinds of traffic in front. 3 bodies bothering Rimpinen. I don't know if it would have counted as Justavar was right in there, but that was making it very apparent.
Yes, that might be the Beaver Top record for the short period of time.
Loke Krantz was ready to pull the trigger, but he did not hit the net after all of that. But that's when Sweden's got their chances. Quick strike, turnover, attack. Not really from sustained offense, but really within a few seconds of entry.
Shot by Stenberg goes high. Celine Williams comes back on it. Stenberg walks out of the corner, centers it, bouncing puck. Rippin knocked that away. As played back to center. It is Carell back to pick it up. Wide pass to Stenberg. Holds, winds in. That pass is broken up for the moment by Yoki. But Stenberg kept it alive for Yenborg. Yenborg is a second-round pick of Detroit. They like him. Yenborg. On the line, and was knocked away by Nieminen. Kivaharju leaves it there for Suvanto. Hard pass for Nieminen, misfired. Celine Wallenius has it back. Back in the corner for Stenberg. Viggo Bjork. Back to Stenberg. And Stenberg feeds it down to Bjork. The return pass just missed Stenberg. Chipped back up by Suvanto. He needs off. And Bjork is back with it. Vestorinen all over him. Yenborg risks it back down to the finish zone as Rippinen's out to play it.
Rippinen just waved everyone to the bench. He just said, all you forwards, get off.
All you tired guys,
we need a change.
Nieminen. Up through center ice to Hemming. He has a step. Emil Hemming shoots. The stop is made by Herrenstadt. Back to Hemming. And that pass misfired back to the point to Boyus. The race for now Frondell moving in on Boyus. And Frondell's a big character and a big hit in the corner. Frondell back with it. Loose behind the goal. Drops that back. Hawkinson, the centering pass just missed. Linus Eriksson was alone in front. Pomedian up to center ice. That was broken up. Chipped ahead by Hemming. And Pomedian back to pick it up. Pomedian risked that back around. Rippinen had it skip away from him. Chipped back in by Danielson. Boilius for Saralainen. Chipped ahead by Ruohonen. He gets it back. Ruohonen jumps in, and Frey took that away from him. Played back across. Jokinen tried to corral the loose puck. Jokinen drops that back, but all the shoots, that was blocked in front by Berglund. That took a bite out of him. Jokinen back with it. To Saralainen. Saralainen gets a step, drives, and it's the side of the net. What a drive there by Jonas Saralainen, and he came inches away from giving the Finns their first lead. Tuva. Back down to Saralainen. He's taken down, and Frey has it back. Rink wide pass to Hawkinson. That centering pass by Gastreen goes wide. Here's Gastreen back with it. Milton Gastreen, a second-round pick of Washington. Gets a couple of whacks there from Valila. Jokinen back around to Valila. Finland, the last team from Europe to win the World Junior Gold. That was in 2019. Since then, Canada and the United States have won the last 6 between them. 3 each. Yenborg flips it back down to the finish zone. Jokinen hustles back. On his backhand, tough play. Couldn't get by Celine Wallenius. Feeds that back. Wraparound try. Viggo Bjork turned away. Jokinen sprawled to help block that. It's under Jokinen. And Vestergaard couldn't clear it out. Celine Wallenius holds it. And now Vestergaard takes the return pass from Pikkarainen. Vestergaard moves in. Tied up in the corner. Flips that back in front. No one there. Now Yoki on it. And Yoki spins back. Out to Yoki. Lost the puck to Celine Wallenius. He's got Yoki all over him, though. Steps out. And moves his way up the ice. 7.5 to go here in the second period. Celine Valles plays it in, goes after his own shoot-in. In fact, it's Piperino to pick it up. Suvento. Winds through center ice, flips that back across. Vestorinen across to Yoki, and the rebound almost on the stick of Suvento. Yoki back after Frondell. Leans into him. And it's brought back by the Swedes. Another no-look shot there.
Same guy, Eklund.
Victor Eklund didn't fool Rimpinen. Finns come close. Carolina with the drive. It remains a 2-2 tie here in the second.
This is exactly what NHL fans look forward to.
What a shot!
Turn it up a new level.
It's impressive. It's bold.
High octane. Can you kick it up to that next level?
Turn it up a new level. Turn it up a new level.
I'm Cole Caulfield, and I played college hockey.
I'm Adam Fox, and I played college hockey.
I'm Jake Gensel, and I play college hockey.
I'm Cale McCarr, and I play college hockey.
Whether you're a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey.
Sporadic chances popping up as the game goes along. Carolina, one of his best. Currently was watching Matthew Schaefer last night with the Islanders.
Yes.
Scored a goal exactly like this. This is an empty net. Just find the angle on your stick, and he gets it too far to the toe. He doesn't really have control of the puck. Can't put it in the empty net. And I'm not sure if Rimpin would have got to this one, but he didn't have to as Jokinen flies across and takes it away with the stick on the ice to bail out his goaltender. It's not been consistent chances, just every few minutes one pops up. Either way.
Inside 7 to go in the second period. We're getting to that point now where little things, little bounces.
Details, blue lines, changes, discipline.
Frondell goes behind the back of Kibahari, who takes that away.
Kibahari's been good in this game.
Frondell back with it. Walks it and fires, put that high. Kibahari was a 16-year-old phenom for the Finns at the Hlinka Gretzky tournament in Alberta 2022. He was a double underage and was one of the best players there. We mentioned he had a terrific under-18 career and then suffered a dislocated kneecap that required surgery in his draft year.
That would slow you down.
Knocked him down to the 4th round.
Well, he's not the biggest, but he's solidly built. When he plays against players this age, he certainly can handle himself physically, but he makes a lot of good reads, has a very good stick, and a very good passer of the puck, which for an offensive player, that's what you want. You want somebody who can stop them and then get it to me. He does that well.
So Millennius shoots, loose puck in front, just skipped away from Viggo Bjork. Vatanen tries to play that back, that's picked up by Yenborg. Now Yenborg off the back of the net. Viggo Bjork for Stenberg. Moves it back to Frey. And across to Celine Valenius. Frey's shot goes off the stick of Hemming, bounces back in the corner to the Yemen, and turns it over to Stenberg. Stenberg lifts it back in front for Yenborg, and they score! The shot by Yenborg trickles in, and the Swedes have taken the lead for the 3rd time.
You just said it, Gord. Getting pucks out, controlling the blue line, not turning pucks over and giving teams 2nd and 3rd possessions. They have the puck on their stick, don't get it out. How about this one? Bank job. Off the net, off the pad, and in. This has been a weird game for the goaltenders. But Yenborg recognizes Rimpin is sort of sliding out of control. His stick is all turned around, maybe dislodged in the mesh. That's what pulls him wide. And a bank shot regains the lead for Sweden.
Yenborg scored twice in Sweden's game against the United States to close out the preliminary round. They won that game 6-3.
When that line's on the ice, you get the puck on your stick and you're Finland. I know you want to make plays, but you have to make sure you get the puck over the blue line. and not turn it over.
5 goals scored in the game. 3 of them have been odd. The opening goal of the game was a floater off the glove of Rippon in it.
Scored by number 25.
With the bank shot off the end glass. Now that. That shot by Bison, it goes up and out. And Eddie Yenborg has the Swedes up 3-2 late in the second.
Half protection is not enough. Using just an antivirus online is also not enough. Get better protection from online threats. Get NordVPN now.
Drift into the world of Candy Crush. Sweet. Candy Crush. Play now.
Oh, hello. As the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer, I love numbers. All types of them. I love 1099. I love a W-2. So many. $22.99. All it costs to file. 100%. TaxSlayer's filing accuracy. Your maximum guaranteed refund. That's a beauty. Also, $4,000. That's how old my wife is. U.S.-based. Real human support. File by February 8th for $22.99. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
On Petteri Rimpinen, where he looks a little awkward. Why? Because he gets stuck in a weird spot. Yenborg going wide, skates into his stick. His stick then gets caught in the mesh, and it pulls him out of the crease. That's why he's sliding out of control. He had the double lever, one into the mesh with the knob of his stick, and one on Yenborg's shin pad, and that pulled him 3 feet further away from the post than he otherwise would have gone, and Yenborg takes advantage, banking it in.
And that's not goalie interference.
No, he's skating through there.
Rippin's stick is out.
Nothing wrong with that at all. He has the puck on his stick. He can go where he likes. But it's been a It's been an odd one.
I mean, that's not even a shot on goal.
No, that would be a pass to the slot. But I think Rippin, like, you were down there, you recognize stuff seems off. Rippin feels like he's away from the post, so just chuck it in there and see what happens. Yenborg got lucky.
Saralana tried to work that freight. Frundell had it knocked back in by Bisonen. Comedian goes the other way to Orkvist. Up ahead to Eklund. Looking rink wide for Frundell. That's poked away by Boilius. And here comes Saralainen again. On Orkvist. And knocked back down by Linus Eriksson. Bisonen steps up to keep that alive. Tuva couldn't control that. Eriksson banks it back down to the finish zone. Inside 5 to go here in the second period. Saralainen is that broken up by Yenborg. Pokes that ahead. In comes Viggo Bjork, but Bisonen takes that away. Boilius for Ruohonen. And Ruohonen chips that back down the Swedish zone as Celine Valenius goes back. Chipped down by Stenberg. Back goes Valala to pick it up. Yenborg was watching him. Swedes have only trailed once in the tournament. That was to Switzerland in the second period. And we get the trail here this afternoon. Valila. Right on the line for Vestergaard.
Maybe? Not sure.
Jokinen. Down to Kuta. Now Stenberg works it free. Drops that back to Yenborg, plays it back out, and Valila knocks that away from an on-rushing Viggo Bjork. Stenberg brings it back. He just looks like an NHL player in this tournament.
Yeah.
Stenberg just looks like a guy who...
He looks like the forward who's most ready to step in the NHL and be a solid player. Might not score 40 goals his first year, but he can play, and he won't hurt you.
They got a guy like that here in Minnesota who was like that in junior. Joel Eriksson.
Oh. A very stout NHLer. Heavy.
Took him a while.
Yeah. But a pretty good player now, though.
Orkvist winds his way in. Orkvist gets a step and shoots. Rippin and save. Rebound knocked away from Ustavar. The second rebound is slid wide by Krantz. Luka Krantz. Sends that back down. Berglund shields off Valila. Berglund back across. Momentum looking in front for Celine Wallenius. He tipped that wide.
Confusion up top. Celine Wallenius, all 6'4" of them, gets lost somehow.
Yoki to the line. That appeared to come out, but play continues as Jokinen trails back. Frondell, rather.
Jokinen bracing himself for that collision.
Frondell's another sturdy player. And now chip back to center ice. And Piperina back to pick it up. Kivaharju or Piperina. Wrist that back down to the Swedish zone. Harenstam plays out away. Here's Celine Wallenius. Along the boards, that's picked up by Piperina. Yenborg chips it back to center ice. Yoki had to hustle back and play that back to Kivaharju. Piperina. Up from Miettinen. And this duo of Miettinen and Vananen hasn't been hurt from much this afternoon. The two stars for Everett in the CHL and two important players for the Finns in this tournament. Broken stick now for Celine Wallenius. Pops it back. Polio's a shot that goes wide, and Nieminen reaches back and holds the line. Celine Wallenius now playing with a forward stick, and it's wrong-handed, I think. Nieminen down to Miettinen.
1 minute left in the second period.
Polius for Nieminen. Walks it and shoots at the goalpost. Rang that right at the crossbar. Miettinen. Back down to Boilius. Drops it off to Nieminen. For Boilius. And a long shot goes wide. And Nieminen steps up. Exhausted Swedes on the ice. Now Hemming off the bench for Finland. Plays it back down in the corner. To Miettinen, centering pass. It's knocked down. Miettinen gets it back up.
2 sticks on the ice for Sweden.
Yenborg doesn't have one now. There's Miettinen fires. Pad save made by Harenstam. Nieminen. Back across. A quick shot by Polius. Rebound loose in front. They bang away at a good stop there by Harenstam. In tight on Vananen. And he will get a much-needed whistle for the Swedes.
That was tremendous pressure for Finland. 2 sticks lost for Sweden. So basically a 5-on-3 and 2 guys out there trying to block shots. And there's one by Celine Wallenius explodes. And they work it around. They get a couple of good looks. Nieminen isolate the guy in Stenberg who doesn't have a stick. And he beats Harenstam. Beautiful drag and pull. Great look at it here. Clean beats him. Just square off the bar. And then other good chances after that as time was running low. Harenstam is vulnerable up top. He does fall over when he goes down.
Time winding down to that pass back by Saralainen, misfired. Brought ahead by Ruohonen. Big hit at center ice as Tuma was leveled there by Jack Berglund, the Swedish captain.
Good hit. Nothing wrong with that.
Big Jack Berglund, one of the biggest Swedish players, lowers the boom on Tuma.
It's a step forward. Tuva's got his head down a little bit. Clean. Follow through's high, but the contact's low. Should be no penalty.
So the Swedes go to the dressing room, a period away from a berth in the gold medal game, but more to come as they're up 3-2 after 2.
The 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship on TSN is brought to you in part by Wegovy. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
For the 8th time in the tournament, the Swedes score in the first 2 minutes of a period. Ivar Stenberg gets his third, but then the Finns come back to tie it up on the goal by Jesper Kuta. Then late in the period, Eddie Yenborg with that strange bank shot from behind the goal line, and the Swedes have a 3-2 lead after 2 periods of play. Gordon Miller back with Mike Johnson. Stenberg with a goal and an assist in that second period. I mentioned he leads Finland in scoring as an 18-year-old in the Swedish Pro League, and he just looks like an NHL player.
He looks ready. I mean, he's still very young, but you watch the skills that he has in the game and how he translates those skills to the play, and you see a guy who could play in the NHL soon and could be very good soon. The foundation of his game is probably defensive positioning, but also his strength on the puck. Not the biggest guy, but very strong, whether it's battling for the puck or physical altercations. He's got good vision, can shoot and finish, can also create for his line mates, picking up the one-and-one. And you talk to the scouts, and every one of them says, boy, that Stenberg looks good. Boy, that Stenberg looks ready. Boy, he's going to be a good NHL player. Already over 15 minutes as a forward through 2 periods. Expect to see a lot of him in the third.
Finns are down 1 against the United States in their quarterfinal matchup. Tied it, took the lead, gave up a lead equalizer before they won in overtime. I mentioned the Swedes have trailed but once in the tournament. That was in their game against Switzerland. They won 4-2. Nieminen plays it back around. Jukka Harju gets crunched there. The teams begin the third period 5-on-5. Miettinen slides that for Hemming, and out to play it is Härenstam. Terrell plays that back for Linus Eriksson. And Celine Valenius has it back. San Jose second-round pick. Plays for Vancouver in the Swedish League. Another smooth skating, puck-moving Swedish defenseman. Stenberg, poke check the line by Sarah Leinen. And the play is delayed offside. Swedes are hollering, but
Finns want that puck to go all the way down to the defensive zone, and they are going to get that call. Intentionally touching an obvious delayed offside. And it's a lot of responsibility for Stenberg. Still a young player, playing a prominent role on a team trying to do something that this country has had a hard time doing. Get through this game, and then, if they can, get through the next one as well.
They've lost 4 of the last 5 semifinal games. Perfect in the preliminary round for the 15th time in the last 19 years. Off the draw, Tuva wins that back, and a shot by Bison is steered away by Härenstam. Kick loose by Bjork. Knocked down by Tuva for Boilius. Back across to Bison, and Boilius into the corner. Real horn of the centering pass. It was high. Boilius tries to bank that back around. It was off a stick. Up and out of play.
We heard James reference it, how Sweden has had a hard time getting over the finish line. And it's not the players on the team now's responsibility, but they feel the burden of this number. Now, of course, the number should decrease as you get in the quarters and the semis and finals. You're playing better teams. But you should not be 934 in the preliminary round, playing teams that you will eventually play in the semifinals and final, and have your winning percentage plummet. And mathematically, that doesn't make a lot of sense unless there's an element of pressure to it.
Whether the players are part of it or not, the narrative follows them. Bjork plays that to the line and just out. And conversely, the Finns live up to their reputation. Lorquist out to center ice. Valada has it back. Back for Jokinen. And Valada pivots back. Chipped ahead by Kuta. Now played back out by Härenstam. Nilsson leads that back across, and a long shot taken there by Justavara, steered away by Rimpinen. Back at the point, that blast from Hawkinson was blocked, and now back at center ice. Moved ahead by Frank. Nilsson chips it back down to the finish zone. Still to come today, Canada and Czechia in the second semifinal. 6th straight year those two countries have met in the playoff round of the World Junior. And they have given us some very memorable games. Piparinen flips it back down to the Swedish zone. Carell goes back. Yoki tried to flush him out. Now it's gathered back up by Wilson Bjork. Up for Nilsson. Nilsson winds in, snaps that pass across, but it's out of the reach of Gastrin. Suvanto drops that back for Boilius, who plays it back down to the Swedish zone. Celine Valenius back to pick it up. And lobs it back to center ice.
He's got to do a better job of these dump-ins. They're letting the Swede defenders get them.
Now Hemming winds in. Abel Hemming drops it back. Miettinen feeds it across. The Nieminen shot, bouncing puck loose in front for a moment, knocked away by Frundell. Celine Valenius. That pass is picked up by Boilius. Boilius drops it back to Vatanen. Feeds Hemming. Back across. The Nieminen shot was blocked by Frundell. Boilius back with it. Slaps that back to Nieminen. He's tied up there by Eriksson. Works it free with Frundell. That pass just missed him. Now Frundell back with it. Pivots back in the corner. Frundell drops it back to Eklund. Shot saved by Rippinen. And Nieminen banks that back to Boilius. Up ahead to Miettinen. Moves it across the line. Miettinen. Puck stays with him. Miettinen still on it. Slides it across. Valila shoots. Save made by Herenstam. And he quickly corrals the rebound.
Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
One thing that has been true at both ends of the ice, there have been some rebounds lying around. Lillard puts this one on the far pad. It just sits there. Top of the crease. Saralainen can get there first. Would be dangerous opportunity. So if you can't pass the puck to someone, find a way to get it to the pads, either end, and then attack for the rebound. They've been available all game long.
Back at the point, Bella tees it up, that goes wide. Bison keeps it alive for Saralainen. Drops it back to Valilon. He had Stenberg all over him. Now icing called against the Swedes.
That's a dangerous pivot to pull off with Stenberg covering you, because if he pokes it, you're unlikely to catch him. And Valila coming off the overtime winner against the U.S. in the quarterfinals. Well, the 360 almost loses it. Eventually does enough to force the icing. Oh, watch, don't follow those skates.
There has not been a power play since the opening moments of the second period. And Ruo Honen steps in for the face-off against Viggo Bjork. Valila. That shot was blocked by Yenborg. Valila feeds it back down, gets the return pass. That's broken up by Kadal. Behind the play, Ruo Honen was tied up. There's two Finns caught up the ice as Bjork works in. Bjork. Rink wide for Yenberg, shoots, and Rippinen, the glove save, hangs on.
Pretty good chops in front of the net by Valila as well. It's good save by Rippinen. I think Rippinen would have felt a potential backdoor pass option from Yenberg. And sometimes you get cheating, you get thinking about the next pass, you don't make the first save. Yenberg sort of looking for it, and then eventually slings one in through traffic, or maybe it just landed in his glove with Karels right in front of the net. But good save by Rippinen, who's got to be razor sharp here in the third period.
Beaten on the first shot he faced, 33 seconds in, went off his glove and in.
You're doing the shot justice by saying it was a dump in that should never go in.
Celine Valenius, long point shot that was blocked and runs still loose. Rippinen makes a good save there on Berglund. Jokinen pivots back. Meet to Jokinen. Looks ahead for Pikkarainen. Arenstam plays it high off the glass and back down as Jokinen goes back. That'll be icing called again against the Swedes. One dangerous trait for the Swedes in games like this has been over the years the tendency to sit back.
It's not just Sweden. Most teams in any tournament in this situation are thinking, okay, we have 15 minutes left. Can we defend 15 minutes? Hard, safe, and then you sort of stop attacking and get yourself vulnerable to a long extended push by Finland.
The drop right back to Nieminen. Shoots. That was blocked by Celine Valenius. Vestergaard. Tries to poke that free for Kuta. Kuta kicks at it. John Linder, the American referee, telling him to play on it, but it comes through to Kuta. That pass picked off in front, moved up by Ustavara. Gathered back up by Krantz. Long shot gloved by Rimpin. It's got to hang on as Krantz came into the puck, and Krantz not afraid to get the middle of things, and here we go.
Can't grab, you heard the words there, do not grab his visor, which is a specific penalty. Different than roughing. And so even in a scrum like that where they're not going to call anything, if I latch onto your visor and start pulling you around, they would make that call and it would just be one. So the refs have given you fair warning. Keep the gloves off the visors. And right in the middle here, that's Celine Wallenius on Nieminen's visor, almost grabbing hold of it.
Faceoff will come outside here.
Celine Wallenius, the defenseman, right down in the scrum, the thick of it. It's one of those rules, though, I wonder if the players would know that that's a rule. Sort of implemented in the last few years in the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, they play by the IHF rule book in European domestic league, so, but it comes up so rarely, to your point.
We've both done enough games to know that players do not know all the rules.
No, coaches either.
Broadcasters either. And that's where the rule book's sitting in front of us.
Nieminen back around for Vestorina. Nieminen plays that back to Kiviharju. Poke free to Roope Vestorina. Pass up ahead, chopped in by Yoki. Knocked off stride by Orquist there. While he's flying everywhere now as Vestorina has it back. In for Suvanto. Held by Nieminen. He's got some time. Across he goes to Boilius. Winds in. Drops it back to Nieminen. Back to Boilius. Tees it up and shoots. Pass save. Rebound. Vestorina reaches for it, but couldn't get the shot away. Suvanto for Yoki. Hammered that wide. Boilius. On the boards. Bjork got it back up, and that's gloved down by Boilius. Now finally moved back down to the finished blue line. Swedes are changing as Nieminen moves it ahead. Nieminen centering pass. Just by Miettinen. Bangs that back to Boilius, who was able to hold the line for a moment now. Move back out for Eklund. Rimpinen leaves it there for Nieminen, who's been out there a while. Pivots back and drops that back for Boilius. Miettinen. Up ahead to Hemming. Chips it back down as Strang goes back. Miettinen closes quickly. Vatanen tried to knock it down. Bella long point shot. And Harrenstad made the pad save on that. Bella trying to keep that alive and does. Looks ahead to Vatanen. He gets loose. Vatanen walks out. Plays it back. That's cued wide by Hemming.
Overpassed it almost too hard. And to lay it out there, we can really lean into it.
Bisonen for Balala. Chips it back down to the Sweden zone as Hawkinson goes back. And that clearing tip by Hawkinson goes off a stick, up and out of play. 12:25 to go in the third period. Sweden a one-goal lead on Finland at the semifinal.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship is presented by NHL Sense Arena. Own the ice in virtual reality with NHL Sense Arena 26.
You think you have hands as fast as mine?
Okay.
Now's your chance to prove it. You don't get the best hands by luck. You gotta earn them.
Introducing Stogo, the only apparel with adjustable medical-grade support, engineered with high-strength cables that reinforce the body, designed to help you overcome injuries, minimize pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. Learn more at Stoco.com.
Comes close to tying it midway through the third period as Gastin passed the puck out to nobody. He's got no support there. Watch Sweden scrambling to get in the lane, diving, desperately trying to get there. Eventually the puck gets the net, and there are 3 Finns on the back door. Juicy rebound, and it somehow finds a way to get through all 3 of them for what could have been an empty net. So close on the rebound for Finland.
Now Ruohonen for the face-off against Viggo Bjork. Control by the Swedes. Celine Valenius for Stenberg. Ivar Stenberg crunched there by Sarah Leinen. Works it free. Ruohonen a shot. And Aronstam off the mask knocks that up and out of play.
Right off the center of the helmet, or mask, as it is also known. Stenberg gets stuck, doesn't want to turn it over to the point, but turns it over low and flicks that one out on purpose. Does its trick. I like shooting up there, though. If you get them by his ears, that should be a good shot for Finland.
Aronstam can return next year for the Swedes. Plays for Södertälje in the Swedish Allsvenskan, their second league. Celine Valenius. Out for Stenberg, trying to knock that out. Didn't. Ruohonen kept it alive. Now it's loose at center ice. Tuva drops that back to Jokinen. Back to Piparinen. Snaps that pass ahead. Tuva gets a step on Celine Valenius. The battle continues. Now behind the goal, Celine Valenius has it back. Piparinen steps up and shoots. That quick shot. Aronstam about to fight that off. Now Tuva back with it. Celine Valenius works back in the corner, banks that back, and Kiviharju keeps it alive. Sarah Leinen drops it back. Tuva tied up there by Stenberg. Penalty coming to Sweden. Stenberg's going to go for a trip here.
Can't dive there.
And the Finns will go to the power play with 11:19 to go in the period.
It's late in the shift. Stenberg pretty tired, trying to string out a play on the blue line.
Team Sweden penalty number 15. 2 minutes for tripping.
You just don't want to leave your feet. You're sliding forward, so you've lost all control. You can't even stop or turn or anything. And the body gets tangled up with the feet of Tuva and takes him down. It's the right call. It's got to be made. Just even if you're tired, just shortcut it underneath and leave him out there on his own. But sometimes when you're tired, the legs go, but sometimes the mind does too.
Finns are over 2 in the power play with 3 shots. Kuta. Back for Vananen. Boilius feeds it back across to Kuta. Boilius, Kuta shoots and hammered that high. Vananen back in for Sarah Leinen. Vananen plays it back, and Kuta looking for the stick in front by Sarah Leinen. That missed. Vananen back for Sarah Leinen. Kuta back for Boilius. Back to Kuta. Boilius. Kuta. Cross ice pass was disrupted by Eklund. Boilius. Back in for Vananen. Finns looking for the equalizer here. Miettinen to Vananen. Boilius in for Vananen. To Boilius. Swings it across. Kuta was in a shooting position. Now Miettinen trying to center it. Goes off Omedian and back down the ice. Now Kiviharju steps off the bench. And will quarterback things for the Finns. Drops that back for Ruohonen. Lines in with Hemming. Ruohonen drops it back. And Tuva, a shot that's just wide. And Kiviharju can't hold the line. 40 seconds to go in the Finnish power play past the midway point of the third period. Kiviharju drops that back to Hemming. In for Ruohonen. And across for Suvatro, pokes it that at the line, held by Kiviharju. Back to Tuva. Leo Tuva takes the return pass from Kiviharju, flips it back in front. Suvatro wants to go between the legs there. And Celine Valenius sends that back up. Now Celine Valenius is spilled.
Celine Valenius. You're going to get the slash here and not the embellishment. That's a terrible decision by Tuva. Terrible at this point of the game. But honestly, Celine Valenius is going to be okay here. Finland generates some chances late in the power play.
Team
Pucks in the glass.
Number 23. 2 minutes for slashing.
Little cross check. Okay, the cross check is as bad as the slash. You call one, You call both. You can't not. And here's the earlier chance, just zipping over top Saralina's stick. Kuta trying to find backdoor. Just clips the skate of the defender, Orquist. Otherwise, it would have been right on the tape. But under 10 left. Undisciplined slash, there's no doubt about it. And I guess you get the retaliation and not the first shot. Crowd reacting to this, they see it, but you got to call the cross check to start. You're going to call both.
So 4-on-4 now for 16 seconds, and then a Swedish power play.
Number 23, Leo Kuba. 2 minutes for slashing at 10:26. Teams are playing an equal strength.
Frey spins back at center ice and drops that back to Bomedia. Alphonse Frey.
Berglund just sending Bomedia off the ice. He wants the power play guys out here. He just yelled at him and said, get off. And he did.
And Sweden out of the power play. Frundell shoots. Rippinen save. Puck still loose. It's under Rippinen. Took a late push there from Eklund. Stenberg's in the middle of it as well.
Rippinen got poked, or maybe harder, by Stenberg. I think Stenberg's going back to the box.
I think we're going to penalty here.
I think Stenberg's going to get a slash, or not a spear. He's looking for a rebound, but he drives right into the pads of Rippinen. And maybe this is a bit of a makeup for the other singular call, but turnover there. Frundell shoots and watch Stenberg stick. See, like
that second poke.
We'll get a better look at it here. Really good save by Rippinen to start, though. Really good.
Team Sweden, number 15.
Puck's
2
loose,
minutes
though.
for slashing. Team Finland, number 27. 2 minutes for cross-check.
They're taking Miettinen as well.
5-on-4.
So
I guess it's that.
So can we replay the Celine Wallenius cross-check and that Miettinen cross-check, and you tell me which one's worse? Tell me. How you pull Miettinen out of that and only Tuva out of the first. They both should have been no penalties or coincidental minors on both of them. I don't mind the poke from Stenberg. It's into the feet, but one shove. He doesn't have, oh, there's the second one, but it's a tap. It's tough. Good break for Sweden. Still in the power play.
For a minute 34. Face-off is won by Ruohonen. Eklund plays it back around. It's set down the ice by Ruohonen.
Sweden, number 15.
9 to go here in the third period.
Penalty is called at 10:52.
Sweden leading for the third time in the game. Bjork at the Berglund. Bjork goes after it. Nieminen steps into him. Out of the line by Frey. Down to Frundell. Bjork to Frey. Back to Bjork. Bjork goes back to Frey to Frundell. Looking not to shoot now. Frey in for Bjork. His centering pass broken up by Saralina, but he gets it back. Frundell taps that back to Frey. To Frundell. And Frundell back to Frey. Goes back pass to Frundell. He's got some room. Goes back to Frey. He fires. Knocked away by Rippinen. Berglund plays it back to Frundell. Now he shoots. Rippinen the save, and he quickly grabs the rebound.
It's fun to watch Sweden try to get Frundell the puck to shoot it. They know what they're trying to do. Finland knows what they're trying to do. And it's a little game of cat and mouse with sticks and bodies and screens and all of it. And Finland doing a pretty good job not letting Frundell tee up a one-timer. Finally, Frey wrists one in to Berglund, catches a piece of him in front. And eventually Frundell can't get a one-timer, so he elects for a wrister.
And the Swedes call timeout here.
27 seconds. Not a lot of time left on the power play to draw something up. But first unit had been out there for about a minute change. You want to keep them fresh and have a chance for one more push offensively, knowing that if they're able to get one, they're going to be in great shape to get to the gold medal game. It's pretty collaborative there. Jack Berglund doing a lot of the talking and pointing onto the whiteboard. It all starts with a face-off on both sides. Jack Berglund is over 60% on the tournament. Even if he's not on his strong side, he steps in there against the youngster Savanto with a big responsibility.
Savanto, the 17-year-old, draft eligible. By the Swedes. Frey. Frundell. Cross ice, and Vestorina got a stick on that. Broke up whatever the Swedes had drawn up on the whiteboard.
Yeah. It was a good face-off help by Frundell to keep possession. And I think he was trying to go right through the box, not necessarily to somebody in the slot. Finland's got to get 20 more seconds done and then get to work. Well, 7.5 minutes.
About where they tied up the game against the United States in the quarterfinal. We have seen them pull rabbits out of the hat before at various levels. Frey back for Bjork. The Swedes know the importance of this power play, but 10 seconds remaining in it. That pass broken up. Frundell shoots. Good block there by Nieminen. Frey plays it back across. Bjork with a chance. Rippin down. Rebound. Put wide. Great chance there for Berglund. Rippin has lost his goal stick. Handed back to him. And the teams are back to even strength. 3 shots for the Swedes in that power play. Rippin is still no goal stick. Berglund goes rink wide for Frey. Exhausted players out there for both teams. Savanto freezes that along the boards. Gathered up by Tuva. Drops it back to Kiviharju.
That was a close call for Berglund in front with the scramble.
Vestergaard feeds it back down the Swedish zone. Orkvist back with it. Slides out ahead to Yenborg. Ustavara comes wheeling in. Jokinen knocked that away. The puck loose in the corner now. Yenborg on it. Worked free by Piparinen for the Finns. Turns it over, and Yenborg rolled that wide. Jokinen back with it. He's poke check as Eriksson broke that up. In comes Linus Eriksson. Back around for Yenborg with the point post. Made it a shot, ripping and save. He's got that. And he'll hang on. 6:20 to go here in the third period. Swedes come close, but it's still a 1-goal game.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship is presented by NHL Sense Arena. Own the ice in virtual reality with NHL Sense Arena 26.
I always watch them, thinking maybe one day I'll be out there too.
That one day starts today. It takes hard work and focus. You'll get knocked down and you'll get back up again, because no matter how many times you fail, champions always rise. The new NHL Sense Arena. Train smarter, play faster.
The last 7-8 minutes, Sweden trying to find that insurance marker, and Jack Berglund has been really good in this tournament in front of the net. Big guy just parks himself there. He's good at cleaning it up, but what an effort to get back by Nieminen. Find something, puck, stick, something along with the pad of Rimpinen to take a surefire goal away and keep Finland just within 1. And now it's 5-on-5, 6:20 left. Let's see if Finland can get back on the front foot, as they've been in their own end the last 3-4 minutes.
York in for the face-off, but the Finns are a long way from where they need to be. .620 remaining here in the third period, and still to come Canada and Czechia in the second semifinal today. Off the draw, Saralainen kicks that back ahead. Bella back to pick it up. Across to Kivaharju. Ruohonen looks ahead, finds Tuva, and that pass out of the reach of Saralainen. Valila. A long point shot. Pinball's running front. Saralainen scores! Jonas Saralainen, who's been all over it this afternoon, cashes to tie the game at 3. And back come the Finns.
Simple hockey, get the puck to the point, and Saralainen kicks it out and then flow right to the front of the net. He keeps his feet moving the whole time. Salim Wallenius loses track of his body position, and he's able to get a stick inside, gets a piece. Oh my goodness, Harnstam almost gets it with his pad, but he's able to roll it over top. But it's the work to keep his feet moving out of the corner to the point, around the horn, back down the slot, and Saralainen is rewarded. He's been good in this game. He's been all around the front of that. He had that wide drive earlier, and he gets a huge late goal to tie it for Finland.
Tampa Bay 5th round pick at 24. That's his 4th goal of the tournament. And the Finns have equalized for the 3rd time. Boumedian back to Orkvist. That was broken up by Hemming, almost off the races. Here come the Finns. Vananen winds it across the line. Vananen. That sharp angle shot was blocked by Boumedian. And a Väisänen able to hold the line for the Finns. Back to Miettinen. Orkvist. There's it by Väisänen down the ice, and that's going to be icing against the Swedes.
Time of the goal, 14:01.
Saralainen has been really a good worker for Finland. But as puck is tipped, maybe by Tuva, maybe hits Ruohonen in the chest. But that's what you're looking for. You know Sweden's got a block. How are we feeling about the tying goal? Yes.
Boelius with a shot that goes off the shin pad of Eklund. Eriksson plays around Väisänen and steps up to keep that alive. Vananen. Poke check by Orkvist. Sweden's going to start a change here as Orkvist buys some time. 5 to go in the 3rd period. If it's tied after regulation, it's a 10-minute overtime, 3-on-3. And if necessary, then a shootout. Swedes lost the semifinal last year to the Finns in overtime. Valila. Up ahead to Junker. He finds Suvanto driving, comes in, and rolled that just wide as Harenstam stayed in. They got a Swedish defender with a stick. That's Karel. Krantz has it back for the Swedes. Right to Karel. Almost a breakaway pass there for Berkman with the wrong stick. And Jokinen back with it for the Finns. Finland coming off an overtime win against the United States in their quarterfinal game. Saralainen works in. Saralainen flips for Ruohonen, and it's steered away by Harenstam. Tuva. Back for Pipparinen, long shot, Harenstam save. And Boumedian plays it back around. Jumping up is Kivaharju to keep that alive. Saralainen reaching for it. Ruohonen, loose behind the goal, rubs it back in front, just missed Saralainen with that pass. And Stenberg has it back for the Swedes. Loose in front of the Finnish bench.
Get the puck moving! There's no stop here! There's no stopping for this!
Pipparinen seems to disagree as he just holds the puck along the boards and now fires it down to the Swedish zone. Salim Wallenius for Frundell. Shouted there by Saralainen. In comes Eklund. Crisscrossing with Frundell. Eklund fans on the shot, now taps that to the corner. Boelius for Vananen. He was trying to find Hemming streaking ahead. And now Boelius back with it. Back across to Vananen. Puck at his feet, chips that to the eminent. Out for Ruohonen. Boilius back down to the Swedish zone as Harrison was out to play it. Bobbled it for a moment. Boumedienne turns it over to Miettinen. That pass back splits the Finnish defenders, and ripping it up to play it. To the far blue line to Miettinen. Taps it back for Jokinen. Väisänen drops it back to Jokinen. And away come the Finns. Mika Jokinen lifts it down to the Swedish zone. Harris about to play it. Taps out of the harm's way. On the forecheck is Jokinen, the defenseman. He's taken up with Berglund there. Trying to kick that free. Now the Swedes are away. Berglund lifts that down and back to pick it up.
2 minutes.
Here's Miettinen. 2 to go in the third period. Victor Väisänen. Oh, look out. Tough setback for Kiviharju. A little casual there.
Gotta make sure everyone's paying attention to those drop passes.
We've had some weird goals in this game. Vestergaard. Chips that back ahead. Now Carell back with it. He's tied up. Vestergaard works that free. Carell on the loose puck. Vestergaard and shoots. Harristam saves. Rebound loose in front. And now a shot by Jeminen broken up. Suvanto's stick was snapped in half, and the Swedes are back the other way. Yenborg knocked off the puck. Hemmings plays it back around to the Jeminen. Bank back to Kiviharju. And Kiviharju winds out. Gains center and feeds that down as the Finns complete a change. Hemming on the forecheck. Bjork has it back around to Boumedienne. Ruohonen trying to force that free. Bjork has it back and finds Orquist. To Eklund. Out to center ice, and Orquist plays it back for Boumedienne. 45 seconds to go in the third period. In comes Eriksson, a long shot. Rippinen steers that away. Tuva chops at that, and a chance now for Ruohonen. Tied up by Eriksson. Bouncing puck loose at center ice. Ruohonen has it back. 30 seconds to go in the period. Väisänen back with it. And Väisänen banks it back around to Valala, the overtime hero in the quarterfinals for the Finns. Finns make a change here as time winds down.
Valala wants overtime again.
Hemmings urging him to move the puck up the ice as time winds down here. Väisänen swings that to center ice. Icing waved off. And Finland and Sweden are going to overtime for the second straight year in the semifinals of the World Junior Hockey Championship.
As the score is tied,
Saarelainen with the equalizer, and it's on to OT in St. Paul.
We are made in Canada. Power through the holidays with Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the #1 longest-lasting AA battery.
Introducing Stogo, the only apparel with adjustable medical-grade support, engineered with high-strength cables that reinforce the body, designed to help you overcome injuries, minimize pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. Learn more at Stoco.com.
In sports, we often wish we could have a do-over. You know, a second chance.
Got that right.
1986, Game 6.
Really?
Still wish you had a second chance at that tough loss back in 75?
Look now, John Howe.
Wish you had another chance at winning it all, Barry?
Come on. We're still talking about this?
You can't get a second chance with any of that. But with BetMGM, you can. Lock in the second chance offer for football all season long. BetMGM Sportsbook. Make it legendary.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch your local teams all season long, starting at only $14.99 a month. Plus, you can watch 4 games at once with Multiview. Start watching at FuboTV.com/NHL.
Ticket packages won't last long. Your best shot at seeing Team Canada at home is to sign up for the priority draw. Don't wait. The draw closes January 6th. Sign up free at hockeycanada.ca.
And so it's on to overtime between Sweden and Finland for the second straight year in the semifinals of the World Junior Championship. And in the quarterfinals, semis, and bronze medal game, it's 10 minutes of overtime. A shootout if necessary. In the gold medal game, you play till someone scores.
Can't imagine we'll make 10 minutes 3-on-3 without a goal.
They almost did last year. The Finns scored with less than a minute to go in the overtime period with a shootout looming.
Shootout looming now, or overtime looming with Saralainen, tying goal. Really well done. They just killed off a penalty, hadn't had much going on. And he gets enough of the puck to get up by Härenstam and kick off a huge celebration for Finland.
They're 1-1 in overtime. They lost to the Czechs, tied the game very late, and then won against the United States. They tied that game up in the third, took the lead. The U.S. tied it up, and then the Finns won in overtime. And this is where you talked about it. The psychic of the karma of the Swedes, we want to call it that. Just the
weight of the history.
The weight of the history. They've lost 4 of the last semifinal games. All those years with great teams. Another perfect record this year.
And you know what they got going to start the overtime? 2 draft-eligible kids. Bjork, Stenberg. They don't want to hear about the history. They're worried about the future.
Vananen and Miettinen, the 2 Everett Silvertips, will start along with the captain, Kiviharju. So on to 3-on-3 we go. And the Swedes will control as Celine Valenius has it back. Finns looking for their 3rd gold medal game appearance in the last 5 years. Swedes went 2 years ago, lost on home ice in the gold medal game to the U.S. in Gothenburg. Stenberg moves away from Miettinen. Winds it across the line. Stenberg drops it back to Viggo Bjork. And now Stenberg moves it across the line, tries to give a Harju and shoots, ripping and save. And Miettinen pivots away from Stenberg and collided with Kiviharju. Both benches are hollering about that. Miettinen up for Vananen, back to Miettinen. And on comes Valila, the overtime hero from the quarterfinal. Valila plays that back to Ruohonen. He pivots back for Valila. Up for Saralainen. Saralainen winds in, trying to split the D, drops it back for Ruohonen. He's got some room. Ruohonen sends it back in front. Saralainen turned away. Great stop there by Härenstam. Now Ruohonen directing traffic with Valila. Ruohonen will go back to center ice and regroup.
What a stop on Saralainen by Härenstam. He had that one labeled blocker side.
And now Nieminen waits for the line change to be completed. On comes Suvanto along with Hemming. Emil Hemming, the Dallas first rounder. In on Celine Valenius. Pivots back along the boards. Hemming works back in. Looks across for Nieminen. The pass out of his reach. Nieminen tied up. Stenberg's got it back. Stenberg across to Viggo Bjork. And the Swedes need a change here as Bjork winds his way back in. In comes Bjork with a chance. Ribbon makes the stop on him. Sent right back in front. Stenberg back across. That pass is broken up by Hemming. And Suvanto with it. Trying to drop that back. It was picked up by Stenberg. In for Bjork. Back he goes to Orquist. Shoots. Ribbon makes the glove save and hangs on to that. Almost a costly turnover there for the Finns.
Yeah, chances early on. Stenberg, neat little play. The quick regroup of the blue line. Attacks for a quick shot. And then turns it aside. And the other play was made nice by Ruohonen. All around the net. Get the center line and goalie down. Wide open. But Härenstam finds the save. If not the puck afterwards. Fights it off. And then Viggo Bjork on a good dash. Under 2 sticks trying to go to the far post. And rimp it in, turns him aside as well. Face-offs so critical. 3-on-3.
Haven't seen Trundell yet in the overtime. Picked up by Miettinen, drops that back to Kiviharju.
Might have been out here had it been a non-face-off start.
And away comes Miettinen. along with Kiviharju. Miettinen works into the forward, trying Eriksson. And Miettinen slides that back, and at the line, it squirts by Vananen and back out. Being trailed there by Eklund. And Eklund works that free. Took it away from Vananen. And plays that back to center ice to Boumedienne. And Frundell is ready to come on now as Bjork has it. And here is Frundell with it, the Chicago first rounder. Drops it back to Bjork. He pivots back. And now Bjork gets a step, moves in. People Bjork in, shoots, and Ripley got just a piece of that. Serolainen picks it free. 2-on-1 for the Finns. Serolainen with Ruohonen. In comes Serolainen, bobbled the puck for a moment. Drops it back, Ruohonen with it. Off the bench comes Valila. Valila winds in. He swings back as well. Valila has a look. Through the slot, Valila being watched by Boumedienne. And now he'll retreat to center ice and regroup. Ruohonen needs off. On comes Suvanto, along with Westergaard. And now Valila played that back. There was no one there. Rippinen has to pick it up and carefully play that puck. Leaves it there for Suvanto. Drops it off to Jokinen. And Mitja Jokinen moves it across the line, flips that towards the goal. Herentz steers that away. And now Jokinen tries to dig it free. He's knocked down. Vestergaard back on it. He wins the battle for the puck. Shovels that back, a race for it. And Suvanto hustles back with Salim Lanius watching him. 5.5 to go in overtime. Here is Kiviharju. 11 Finns back from last year's team that beat the Swedes in the semifinal. Brought in by Tuva. He gets a step. Tuva drops it back in a high slot. Shot by Vesterine. Herstad looking back. It's under him. And the Swedes quickly corral that. Herstad wasn't sure.
He knew it was down there somewhere. As Tuva takes a little pick from Kiviharju, drives it wide, kicks it back out. Vesterine has been pretty good at finishing plays off in this tournament. Rattles one around. And Herstad just sits on it. And Viggo Bjork, that's 2 bursts we've seen in the overtime from him. Right up the gut on a breakaway. Just turned the corner and off to the races. He's got to make a mental note of that kind of acceleration. He's back on the ice now.
And for the face-off against Ruohonen. Ruohonen wins it. Back to Serolainen. Kiviharju. And Ruohonen will retreat to center ice.
Don't mind that. You want their defenseman all the way up there.
That's Boumedienne watching him.
With the 2 forwards back. You'd like that if you're Finland.
Kiviharju inside 5 to go in the overtime. Drops it back for Ruohonen. Ruohonen works in with it. Finns changing. Valila jumps up. That pass is picked up by Eklund. Swings it back across to Boumedienne. And Boumedienne flips it back for Eklund. In across the line. The play is offside.
Looked like something promising developing for Sweden, who haven't had the puck an awful lot. Finland been a bit better on the faceoff, so they've got to start with it. Swedes had to work to get it back. I guess a little lateral move. No, that's onside by back foot of Bjork. Still cleanly onside. Tough call there.
Miettinen wins the face-off back to Valila. And Valila drops that back. Rippinen out to play it. As Stenberg was watching him, Valila turns it over, but it's chipped out by Valila. Rippinen almost bobbled it there. Now a chance. In comes Bjork alone. Shoots! And Rippinen got a piece of that. Another good look for Viggo Bjork. He's had 3 terrific chances here in the overtime. 4 to go in the extra period. Here they come again. Salim Valenius. He winds in. Shoots. Rippinen saved, but just enough of that to knock it away. Hemming plays that to Jokinen. Now Jokinen tied up. Stenberg almost stole that. And Jokinen plays it back for Hemming.
Oh, Rippinen an adventure behind his own net.
This game began with a weird goal. It might very well end with one. Jokinen moves in across the Swedish line, but now pivots back. Drops it back to Vananen. And he pivots back. Kivaharju to Suvanto. Crisscrossing with Vananen. Now Suvanto does cross the line. Winds in. Suvanto holds, has a look, walks right in, feeds it across. That's cued wide by Kivaharju. Suvanto trying to play that back. And the pass was broken up by Eklund. Victor Eklund brings it back up. The Swedes need a change here as Frondell taps that back to Boumedienne. Inside 3 to go in the overtime. Boumedienne drops that back to Stenberg. Ivar Stenberg with a head of steam. Drops that back to Bjork across the Boumedienne. Feeds it back in front to Stenberg. That's broken up. And Serolainen back on it. He got his it back up. Serolainen up ahead to Ruohonen. Across he goes to Valala. Valala back for Ruohonen. And Boumedienne got a stick on him. Back on the Swedes. Here comes Bjork. Time. Another chance for Bjork. Moves in and shoots. Ribbon makes the save. Picked up by Serolainen.
4 breakaways for Viggo Bjork in overtime.
And away comes Miettinen. He works it. Great move by Miettinen. And a penalty coming. It's going to be a slashing call to the Swedes, and I think it's Bjork who's going to get it.
Oh my word. Viggo Bjork cannot believe this. After another slash in the hands that may have dislodged the puck.
Penalty slashing.
And all these other chances for Sweden in the last 2 minutes. Ribden turns it over, almost gets himself in trouble, and a 4th break from Bjork. Time and again, he's been in alone, shooting the puck, never deked once in this entire sequence of breakaways. Rippinen stops him, and after all these chances, Sweden takes a penalty. 2 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock. Finland's called timeout.
And the Finns beat the Swedes in overtime last year in the semifinal on a power play goal.
So it's going to be Miettinen, Vananen, Kiviharju, and they're going to put Hemming out there as one of their shooters. And one... See, I think the reason they called that one is because Miettinen looked like he might have been breaking through for a chance, and the slash dislodged the puck. Plus the arm wave to draw attention to it. Yeah, slash into the hands area.
All right, so the Finns are 0 for 3 on the power play. There's 2:03 to go. Last year they scored the power play goal with 1:38 left in overtime. That's right where we are now.
So Hemming, who has been so quiet in this game, 22 for Finland, is a gifted shooter of the puck.
4-on-3. It's Miettinen for the faceoff against Berglund. And the draw controlled by the Finns. Poked back by Vananen. For Kivaharju, and they'll set it up. Vananen, Kivaharju, back for Hemming. To Kivaharju. Feeds that back down to Vananen. Kivaharju, Vananen. Miettinen fighting for space in front. Now Vananen back across the top. Vananen winds in, feeds it across. Hemming shoots, and the save is made by Herenstam.
So Jack Berglund knows Hemming's the shooter. So he's got his stick way out in the passing lane, so he's pushing Hemming further and further out. Watch the puck rolls around the top. Berglund's just trying to force him further and further out. And then eventually when he gets a shot, it's not a square pass. It's one where there's no screen and Herenstam's able to square him up.
Miettinen against Berglund again for the faceoff. And again controlled by the Finns. Vananen back to Hemming. Kivaharju to Hemming. Back to Kivaharju. Walks right in, feeds that down to Vananen for Kivaharju. Vananen. Kivaharju creeping closer every time. Vananen. Kivaharju shoots, and the glove stopped by Herenstam.
Good save.
Every pass, Kivaharju moved about 3 feet closer to the net.
Well, if they're going to play a 2-on-3 on that side of the ice, which is what they're doing with Berglund taking the passing lane his way, at some point you got to take it to the net. Kiviharju leans on it, gets it there, Oh, right into the tip of the glove. Good save. Now a face-off on Berglund's strong side maybe gives him the advantage.
1:16 to go in the power play. And a bouncing puck controlled again by the Finns. Hemming drops it back to Kiviharju. In for Vananen. Vananen's got a lane, but goes back to Kiviharju. To Vananen. Vananen has a look back to Kiviharju. Berglund taking that lane away again from Hemming.
1 minute left in overtime.
Final minute of overtime. Vananen winds in, feeds it back across. Here's Hemming back with it. Hemming to Kiviharju. Back to Vananen to Kiviharju. Hemming with a bouncing puck. Gathers it back up. Feeds it back to Kiviharju. For Vananen. Kiviharju works it and shoots on the goal post. Hit the pipe. He goes up and out of play.
Finland recognizing that's the shot they're going to get. The Hemming one-timer, not happening. So someone else has to be willing to take the puck to the net. Kiviharju tried a glove side. This time he goes far side, square off the bar. Great look here. Flash screen from Miettinen. Oh my goodness, what a shot. What a look.
And Miettinen versus Berglund, round 4. Miettinen's won the first 3. Scramble draw, and not done fairly. So Miettinen gets a warning now, advantage Berglund.
Might want to put some more time back on the clock, though, I think.
Yeah, they did notice, yeah. White knuckle time here in the semifinals of the World Junior, and Viggo Bjork 4 breakaways in overtime and now sitting in the box.
Oh, no stick for Miettinen.
Yeah,
he's got to change. Under Sweden chase now.
Hemming trying to buy some time. Miettinen quickly grabs a stick at the point. Here's Kiviharju. Played back across to Vananen. Time winding down here in the overtime. Hemming has a look. Walks back out, feeds it back across to Kiviharju. To Vananen. To Hemming, that pass partly broken up. Berglund saw that coming, now Hemming. Back across to Kiviharju. Final seconds of the overtime. Vananen, Kiviharju, Hemming. Bobbled the puck, poked away by Berglund, and this game will go to a shootout. The Finns with a golden opportunity at the end of the overtime when the power play couldn't make it connect. And now we'll have a shootout to decide who plays in the gold medal game tomorrow night.
Full credit to the Swedish penalty killers. 4-on-3, full 2 minutes. Jack Berglund organizing traffic and getting this game to a shootout all the way. Finland got it close. They rang the bar, but now a shootout to decide who gets to go to the gold medal game. I think the 3-minute break for the scrape, good for Härenstam. He's probably tired after 2 full minutes in his own end. So this is how we got here. The first minute, the first shot, this odd goal on Rippinen. A drifter from Eriksson. 1-0 Sweden. They're off to the races, but Joki finds a way to tie things up late in the first, make it 1-1. After 1, second period we go. Once again early. Ivar Stenberg driving the lane. Clean shot, clean finish. Sweden attacks to take the lead again, but a crazy one. Frey banks the puck off his own goaltender's back to tie it up. And the wild goals continue as Jenborg banks one in off the side of the net, off the pad, and in. 3-2 Sweden. Went all the way there till late in the third. 6 minutes or so left, and Saralainen jumps on a caroming puck to tie it up. Then it got to overtime, and things got crazy.
We have a Euro here, we have heads, and we have tails. The home team calls the toss. Heads. Hey, heads. All right, the call from the home team is heads. It's tails.
Finland gets to choose.
Tails is the outcome. Will you shoot first or second? Perfect. Team Sweden will shoot first.
So the Finns won the toss.
Now the numbers seem to suggest that you want to go first,
right,
and put pressure on the opposition. I guess if you trust your goaltender, then maybe you can free up your shooters,
right,
by allowing the other team to go first. And listen, Rimpinen, he legit faced 4 breakaways in the overtime. And do you possibly pick Viggo Bjork to shoot again?
That might be cruelty. Now here,
thank God he got out of the box, because that would not want that game to end for him like that.
Now remember the rules here. It's a 5-round shootout. If it's still tied after 5 rounds, you can start using players over again, and the order flips.
So then Finland would shoot first
for the next 5 rounds.
On the 6th shooter.
Yes. And at that point, you can start reusing players.
Over and over and over.
Right.
This is the drama. It's great.
There's some question about which net should be defended.
Just make sure to get every last bit of snow away. Imagine both teams would want to just shoot on the end they were just going at, with the goalie in the net they were in.
And that will be the case.
And this is very well thought out. You might have room for 1 hunch, maybe 2.
So your best shooter mathematically should go 3rd.
Highest leverage situation, but guaranteed to go.
Right. So the Swedes will shoot first. Emil Hemming, by the way, has had 5 shootout attempts in the Ontario Hockey League for the Barrie Colts, has scored twice. And now the Swedes will send out their first shooter. Used to have to list the 5. Now we just go one by one.
Don't overthink it. Less paperwork.
And the net's put back in place.
They're changing the net in Finland's end. The pegs. Something's wrong with the pegs in Finland's net.
So we got a delay here as that's being attended to. And I think they're doing the Swedish end as well. So this is semifinal 1, the appetizer, and still to come, Canada against Czechia. The 6th straight year those two countries have faced each other in a playoff round game of the World Junior Championship. Our coverage starts in about a half an hour from now, which is when the warm-up's supposed to start between these two. But first we got some business here, but we've got a problem with
they're gonna reflood. They didn't scrape the crease. They scraped the edges, but they didn't go right over top of the crease. The guys with the shovels are trying to clean up around the blue crease. And I think, you know, they brought the Zamboni back out to go over the part that matters the most.
Sweden, the host country in 2024. Lost on home ice in the gold medal game last year. The Finns lost on home ice in Ottawa, or lost in Ottawa rather, in the gold medal game in overtime.
And just what these teenagers need.
Next year, the World Junior is in Edmonton and Red Deer, then in Finland in 2028, Tampere and Turku. In 2029, it's Quebec City and Trois-Rivières. 2030, it'll be in Czechia. Sounds like Brno, the 2nd largest city in the country, the south end of the country, will be one of the host cities there. The United States in 2031, then back to Canada in 2032. And I think they're going to bring the Zamboni back out again.
Oh my goodness. This will be filed under the 1 job category. I don't know if they have reverse. He's got to go in there and turn that thing around.
The linesman, David Tuma of Czechia, is sending him back out. Concerned about one spot here.
The last thing I would want if I was sitting on the bench right now is a whole bunch of time to think about it. As a shooter, you want to just get out there and do it.
Here's the thing. If you're the Swedes, you have not trailed in this game.
No. But if you, this game as a whole, it's been as much Finland as it was Sweden. This is a toss-up kind of game. Nothing else. If you're Sweden, you're thinking, we just had so many breakaways. How do we feel about our chances going up against this guy with Showtime written on his pads in a shootout to decide who goes to the gold medal game?
Right.
games.
Okay, they seem to be happy with the scrape. Never seen that before. And so the nets will be put back in place. And we can get underway here with the shootout. And the goalies have had time to think about it. The shooters have had time to think about it. The coaches have had time to think about the order. Most teams practice shootouts every day at the end of practice at the tournament, so often it's a hunch.
Even in warm-up, European teams do shootouts at the end of a warm-up.
Right.
Goaltenders take them all the time. Henrik Lundqvist used to do it in the NHL, one of the only guys to do so. I would think if I'm a coach, I'm running percentages for at least 3 of the shooters. Put my best guys who historically score the most, and then leave room for 1 or 2 guys having good games. And with 5 shooters, you're going through basically a third of your skaters. Lots of options.
All right, so Rimpinen will stand in and face the first Swedish shooter, and I think it's going to be Viggo Bjork.
Why not? I love this. What a shot at redemption for Bjork.
4 breakaways in overtime. And Bjork with 3 goals in the tournament. Winds in on Rimpinen. Bjork in, stopped. That kid's gonna have nightmares tonight if the Swedes don't win this game.
Such a good game. He didn't try to deke once. He shot 5 times in a row. Rimpinen clearly has his number glove right there, sitting on top of his pad. Take it away.
Leo Tuva had the game-tying goal in the 3rd period against the United States. The first shooter for the Finns in the shootout. Tuva, stopped by Härenstam.
He got right on top of Härenstam. Really close, trying to go across and have Härenstam open up. Did not elevate the puck quite high enough.
Second shooter for the Swedes is Anton Frondell, a 3rd overall pick to Chicago in last year's draft. Frondell winds in, and Rimpinen makes a great pad stop.
That was a gorgeous move. And one of Rimpinen's right groin is okay.
Well, he's skating it off.
He had to really stick it out to get it to the post. Oh, that is a great effort by Rimpinen. I hope he's okay.
Vananen. 1 for 2 in his career in the Western League, scores!
Pretty.
Matthias Vananen plays for Everett in the Western League. Gives the Finns the lead.
Cell shot. Quick little flick of the wrist to get Härenstam down, and then roll it to the backhand, short side, and put it right up onto the bar. Really well done.
Ivar Stenberg from Frölunda of the Swedish League. To tie it up, Stenberg. And the Finns still lead 1-0.
Rimpinen, since overtime has started, has stopped 7 breakaways in a row.
Right.
He's trying to slide this one 5-hole, just rolls off the end of his stick, unfortunately.
And here is Hemming, 2 for 5 in his OHL career. 1 for 2 this year for the Barrie Colts. And a chance to put the Finns up by 2 in the shootout. Hemming, backhand, goal posted out.
You heard the clunk, and it was rattling around, and Härenstam swatted it the other way. It's the same move Vananen did to the other side. He had it. Just didn't hit the net.
And now it'll be Victor Eklund who opened the scoring 30 seconds into the game. Eklund to tie it up. In on Rimpinen. Eklund stopped.
Rimpinen is dialed, reading the shooters so cleanly. He knows when they're deking, knows when they're shooting. Nothing there.
Jesper Kuta with a chance to win it now for the Finns. Plays for the Ottawa 67s, 0 for 3 in his career in OHL shootouts. In comes Kuta, shoots, and he's turned away by Härenstam, and the Swedes are still alive.
Trying to slip that one by the right ankle, this new left-handed shooter spot, just not quite hard enough to beat Härenstam's pad to the ice.
And now Jack Berglund, the Swedish captain, the Philadelphia second rounder, has to score to extend the shootout. Berglund. In on Rimpinen. Berglund scores!
He keeps him alive, the captain!
And he is jacked.
Tournament on the line. And he almost mishandles this one. Really quick, stick the heel in and just enough to shovel it in.
But now Miettinen can win it for the Finns. Miettinen winds in, he's turned away, and it's on to round 6.
Oh my goodness.
And now the Finns will shoot first and can reuse players.
So Finland had a couple shots or a save to advance.
3 times they could have won it.
Shooting for Sweden, number 16.
So back to...
No, they're going to split the order now.
No, it's
Vanninen's going to go as they send a Finnish player out first. He scored on the backhand move.
Scored in round 2 of the shootout. And now it's single round elimination. Vanninen moves it on Härenstam, and he's turned away. And now the Swedes have their first chance to win it.
Härenstam giving his team a chance. Vanninen goes against the opposite way, and another good kick save. Frondell had that slick move first round.
Here he comes with a chance to win it for the Swedes. Frondell winds in. Hit the goal post.
That was post. It's a double doink.
Unbelievable.
He goes a quick slide. You couldn't do that in 100 attempts if you tried. Right across the goal line and out.
Hemming came close on his attempt in round 3. Emil Hemming bobbles it.
Oh my.
Won't get a shot.
Oh my.
And now the Swedes have chance 2 to win it.
That is tough.
And it's Berglund who extended the shootout in round 5. Chance now to win it. In comes Jack Berglund. Winds in. He's got him down. He's stopped. What a save by Rimpinen.
He had him down and out. He was rolling over backwards. Rimpinen bit on the fake multiple times. But Berglund just couldn't handle it clean to pull it to the open side. Skated into his skate.
And the Finns are going back to Vanninen. Mattias Vanninen works in. He's turned away again.
They have tried that shot 5 times, it feels like. Going across the net and above the pad, and Härenstam stays out. And his pads are quick and flat.
Vanninen has stopped 6 straight attempts by the Finns, and now Frondell with his 3rd attempt can win it for the Swedes. Frondell winds in and scores! Anton Frondell sends Sweden to the gold medal game after a white-knuckle win over Finland in the semis. Finns had 3 chances to win it with a goal or a save. They did not do it, and the Swedes will play for gold for the 2nd time in 3 years. They never trailed the game. But in the end, it was Anton Frondell who scored on his 3rd attempt, who wins it for the Swedes. They'll play for gold tomorrow. The Finns will play for bronze. Wow.
They pushed it right to the edge. Sweden was teetering. Full 2-minute power play in overtime. All those missed breakaways by Bjork. 3 different cracks with a save or a goal for Finland to win the game, and eventually their best shooter elects to shoot it and it rips it 5-hole. Sweden gets through that game that has plagued them recently.
They'd lost 4 of the last 5 semifinal games, And the happiest man in this arena, maybe next to Anton Frundell, is Viggo Bjork. And you can see the frustration for Rimpinen.
He did everything he could. He played incredible. And they find a way. Just advance. Just find a way to play again. This next time for gold.
We'll get the players of the game.
Specifically commissioned for the 2026 IIHF World Junior
And then we'll get the top 3 players for each team.
Presenting the prizes, Chris Naus, USA Hockey VP of International Hockey. And the best player of the game from Team Finland is number 7, Daniel Nieminen.
Daniel Nieminen, the Nashville draft. Returnee from last year. Got a chance to add to his medal collection tomorrow in the bronze medal game, won the silver last year.
Number 15, Ivar Stenberg.
And Ivar Stenberg, whose imprint was all over this game, is the player of the game for the Swedes. But Viggo Bjork missed on 4 breakaways in overtime and took a penalty.
On a human level, I'm happy that Sweden got through for Viggo Bjork, because that would have been a tough one to get over if it didn't turn out this way.
And now we'll get the players of the game, or the players of the tournament for the Finns, the top 3 players, as chosen by the management staff.
World Junior Championship from each team will now be awarded with a watch from Tissot, the official timekeeper of the International Ice Hockey Federation. Presenting the watches, Justin Thompson, Tissot U.S. Brand President, and Rick Ostrom, Tissot Managing Director. The 3 best players of the tournament for Finland, number 30, Petteri Rimpinen. Number 33, Aaron Kiviharju. And number 38, Oliver Savanto.
It's tough being rewarded for an exceptional few weeks, but it feels hollow right now.
Rimpinen's played every minute of every game the last 2 years for the Finns, and no reason to think that will change the bronze medal game tomorrow.
As long as his groin's okay.
Number 15, Ivar Stenberg. Number 16, Anton Frundell.
Stenberg, Frundell.
And number 21, Viggo Bjork.
And Bjork are the top 3 players for the Swedes in the tournament. And don't forget, Lucas Pettersson, one of their top goal scorers, did not play today. He's sick, so there is a thought that he might be healthy enough to play tomorrow in the gold medal game. Well, the Swedes able to just bring it home. And now they'll get a chance to play for gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise
tomorrow night
for the national anthem of Sweden.
All right, some tough shoes to fill following that game. My goodness, Sweden, Finland, always fun when those 2 teams get together, especially with a gold medal game on the line coming up in the next round. Sweden gets it done over their arch rivals, Finland, in the shootout 4-3. Anton Frundell, 3rd overall pick by the Chicago Blackhawks last year.